All right, let's try this again. God, we had quite a bit of people on, and I just dumped everybody. All right, I'm just going to wait for people to jump back on. See if we can't get some people. And I'm going to... let's start taking some questions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this sneak peek. I don't know what the hell's going on with these freaking settings. It's driving me crazy. You change something and then they totally pork you. Ugh. All right. Anyway, let's get into some card pulling. All right. I am back. Financial question. Derek, go ahead. What's your question? What's your question, Derek? Hit loop to the 227. I love it. Now we'll do some phone calls. My phone wide open here. We're going to do some phone calls here in a little bit. Get some interaction for all of you beautiful people out there. XRP Ripple, what about it? I did a decode on that. Check it out, Mr. Rasul. I decoded cryptocurrency. Me and Jordan decoded it as well through a podcast. Oh, guidance from the cards. Okay, but you got to be more specific, Derek. Okay. What do you specifically want to know? You got to be really specific with these cards, folks. You can't be really generic or vanilla. It has to be really specific. Okay. No, it's not YouTube. It's probably me. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Okay. What's up, everybody that is new tonight? Thank you for joining in. And those of you that have come back, thanks again for joining in. This has been fun so far. A lot of good truth bombs. Did I go to the freezer? Digital currency tied to gold. Yeah, I'm going to try to do this damn... let's take some questions, and then I'm going to try to do this sneak peek. I have a sneak peek that I want to show all of you tied to the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944, where they made the US dollar the standard currency of the world. And then in 1971, Richard Nixon deleted that. And now, folks, 77 years later, we have 2021, which is right now. And that's why I'm in the belief, and the people that I follow, this year is going to be the Great Reset. Don't get caught with your pants down, folks. Okay? Don't get caught with your pants down. Okay, this is kind of too lovey-dovey music. Hold on, let me change it. Okay, there we go. Actually, let me play this. Play some rock. Okay. So what do we got, folks? What do we have? We lost about 3/4 of all we lost 3/4 of everybody, but it's all good. Oh, is the stock market going to fall out by October? Stock market's going to fall, folks. I mean, I don't know when it's going to fall, but I know it's going to fall because what goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. So if you have any money in the stock market, well, you know, things go in cycles. If you think 1929 was a big deal, that one's going to look like small fry peanuts compared to what's coming up. I can tell you that right now, folks. That's my belief. So is it going to fall back to? So let me give you my take on the timelines. So currently right now, and I want to say this is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm looking at September 9th through September 18th. Those are the dates I'm looking at for something massive to happen on the world stage. Big deal stuff. Whatever that looks like, I don't know. But there has to be some kind of transition of the financial markets and fiat currency as a whole, and also there because the debt is just too big, and you must realize something. Somebody says I'm breaking up a little bit. Can somebody give me some feedback? Is my mouth in sync with my lips? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Just let me know, but let me just see here. Looks good to me. Am I breaking up? Am I smooth? All right, I'm just going to keep going, folks. But yeah, listen, we're coming from a space of no fear, okay? Just preparation. Okay, cool. Thanks for your feedback, everybody. So I want to be really clear. I want to be really crystal clear of all the research that I do. And I do a shitload of research. That doesn't mean that what I'm going to tell you is going to be your truth. But I decoded cryptocurrency. I talked with Jordan, who's Waters Above Crypto, who has his own layers and opinions. I talked to people that have degrees in economics. Folks, I follow some heavy hitters. And it's all coming down to this year right here. This year. Between now and the end of this year. Just, you got to be prepared. And again, this is coming from a place of love. I'm telling it all because I love all of you. I'm not telling you because I don't like all of you. I'm not telling you because I'm trying to stir the honey. I'm trying to stir the pot here. Trying to smack the bee's nest. This is not crying wolf. This is using common sense and logic, using real esoteric decoding methods, using the principles of patterns in the timelines of what we've seen in the past. This is serious business. No one knows what it's going to look like. No one knows what it's going to look like in the thick of things. Even the people that probably know what's going on don't know what's going to happen. They can gauge, but they don't really know. Okay? But folks, listen. There are signs. And I can tell you, I'm gonna try to do this sneak peek because I really got folks, if you're not decoding reality and looking into patterns, well, you're going to miss things, because that's why they say history repeats itself. And if you think that there's no reset coming, you're freaking kidding yourself. They've been saying it for a long time. They've already prepared you for cryptocurrency because pretty much everybody here doesn't use cash. You slide a freaking card. Okay, you're programmed to use no cash. So what I'm about to tell you folks, again, it's for I have to say this, it's for entertainment purposes, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I want to tell you this. This is serious stuff. So The Economist magazine came out, which, you know, if you don't know what The Economist magazine is, you're not going to get this, okay? They came out with an article in 1988. I did this on my Decoding Cryptocurrency. That was 33 years ago. If you don't know what the 33, if you're still stuck on the Masons being 33, man, you're not going to get this. I hope that those of you that are watching this broadcast are beyond trying to blame the Masons because it's 33. I really hope you're at that level. I really, really do. When you see 33, it means ascension. It means change. Change. Typically, things happen in the harvest season. In our autumn. If you're in the Tropic of Capricorn, which would be in the southern part of the equator, it would be your springtime. Spring starts with the letter S. Autumn starts with the letter A. What's the 19th letter in the alphabet? The S. What's the first letter in the English alphabet? The letter A. When you take letter A and letter S and bring them together and you look at the numbers, what do those numbers combine to be? 119. Folks, this is not an accident of why things happen in the Tropic of Cancer being the fall or autumn, and then the Tropic of Capricorn being the springtime. September, October. Massive things happen. We've seen it, patterns. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. You must. Let me take that back. You must. It's not a matter of you must. If you're willing to observe what I'm about to tell you, it may bring you some massive value in your own personal life and those that are around you. I'm going to go off of the things that I know as factual. My facts. Again, I have to be clear. From all the decoding that I've done, the majority of a religion that would be tied to it is Judaism. The majority of the music that I've decoded have a Jewish background to it. The majority of movies that I've decoded have a Jewish background to them. Now, I want to digress and say very crystal clear. This is not saying anything negative about the Jewish faith, because I got a lot of friends that are Jewish. This is not singling out the Jewish faith or the people that follow Judaism. Those of you that do. I want to be very clear on that. So this is not anti-Semitic or any of that bullshit. Very clear on that. I am providing you with what I have found through my research, countless hours and discoveries, and putting it all together, and I'm going to package it and lump it to you right now. So in the majority of music and movies, a lot of it is tied, the majority of it is tied to the Judaism and Jewish faith, okay? That's just the way it is. It's not a secret that many people will say that the bankers are of Jewish descent. Somebody has to run the show. These are not secrets, folks. And you need to get out of your mind thinking that of anything that they're as adversary, enemy. Get out of your mind about all your programming and all the negativity that's been associated with that. Forget all that garbage. Just strictly come from a place of logic and neutrality. Just for once in your life, I'm going to ask that you do this. This is serious. The patterns that I have found, and again, I give credit to, Jordan from Waters Above Crypto, because he's the one who made me revisit this information. I looked at this stuff years ago. I didn't pay any attention to it. The people that are in high places, you could say the people that would be the apex predators. They run the money systems. And they, whether you like it or not, whether you follow it or not, whether you want to have any kind of say in it or not, they go on specific patterns in nature and codes. And they go by the Jewish faith. And the one things that it appears, and I say that, it appears they're going through is the 7-year cycles, which then get into what is called the Shemitah. If you don't know what Shemitah means, I would highly suggest that you go do some research on it. Don't take my word for it. Please. So I'm going to digress and say that these people follow specific patterns in nature. That's what they go by. And then I'm going to digress as well, and I'm going to say, and I'm not even going to say, I'm going to ask all of you, what is the most popular book on the world stage today? What do you think that book is? Whether you agree with it, whether you like it, whether you use it, what is the most popular book on the world stage? Okay? Put that in the back of your mind. That book is a spell book. Just like all other books. It's a spell book. So when you read the words from the book, you cast spells. Those spells create energy. Those energies create vortexes. Those vortexes create what our reality is. That's the way magic works, in a sense. So what's going on right now, folks, is that there are patterns in this reality through magic, and it is placed through the 7-year cycles, and it is called the Shemitah. And every 7 years in Judaism, you have what's called the Shemitah. These Shemitah years end up tying to things that happen on a drastic scale. Not small, drastic. And what's happening this year, what is very special about this year, and why I had said earlier, please do not get caught with your pants down, and I'm coming from a place of love, not fear. Life's a joke. Life really is a joke, and we are all playing out a big soap opera. That's how funny it is. So take this with a light heart. This year, folks, is what's called the Jubilee Year. The Jubilee Year is the 50th year. It is the follow-up of a 7x7 Shemitah process. It's 7 times 7 is 49. There's been 49 years. This is the 50th year this year. This year is called the Jubilee Year. Folks, whether you believe in it or not, the people that run money and economics, they believe in it. They run their patterns through it. I can't be any more serious than I can be serious right now. I'm telling you this. You don't have to believe in it, but they put all their faith in these patterns. And it's very possible that the Tetragrammaton that runs the Bible and ancient Israel and all the stuff, all the great research we've been doing, the Yod, which may be tied to Yaldabaoth, all of them maybe being the same, that runs the script. And folks, I don't want to chance me sharing my slides right now because I don't want this thing to freeze up. So I'm going to have to just improv this and tell you. And then when I come out with the decode, which I'm working on right now, you'll be able to watch it in full depth to support what I'm about to tell you. You must understand that the number 50, which is the Jubilee year, this year, not last year, not next year, this freaking year. The number 50 is tied to the element tin. And that element is the merger of worlds. In 1944 was Bretton Woods. If you don't know what Bretton Woods is, you should probably go do a little research on it, educate yourself. Bretton Woods was when all these nations came together and met. It's called Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. They all came together, and when they came out of that meeting on July 22nd, I want you to notice the date. July 22nd is 7/22. Those of you that know, what is 7 divided by 22? That's pi, folks. But it goes deeper than that. They held the meeting in Bretton Woods, and they came out on July 22nd saying to the world that the United States would be the world's reserve currency. And it would be backed by gold and the whole shebang. Gold, you must remember that gold is the sun. Anytime you hear the word gold or you end up seeing gold, it means the sun. That's what everything's backed by. The sun. Not physical money. It's the sun. So in 1944, why 1944? Because the words gold currency equals 44. The latitude, longitude of Bretton Woods, New Hampshire is 44 degrees north. You think that's an accident? There's so much to this. And then you go to 1971, which was another Shemitah year, and Richard Nixon came on and he dissolved all that. And he said, we're divorcing ourselves from the gold standard. And that was it. 1971. 71, folks. 1971. 71 in the string of pi occupies 2 digits, 39 and 40. What is 39 plus 40? 79. What is the 79th element? It's freaking gold. Folks, this is the code. This is the script that supersedes people's opinions. It's the most important thing that you can observe right now. Forget about what shape the earth is and all this crap. That's not going to save your ass when something major comes down the pike. That's why I said earlier in my broadcast, I think it's great what the Flat Earth Society is doing, but I don't give a shit about that because that's not going to help you when it comes to the reset. It's not even going to be in the same category. What's the most important thing for all of you to focus on in life right now, folks, is making your life the best it possibly can be and just being prepared for what's coming down the pike. And I can tell you, deciding if the earth is round or flat will not help you with the reset. It's not even in the same category. So anyway, these 1944, Shemitah year. 1971, Shemitah year. This year is the Jubilee year. And you must understand that the Hebrew or the Jewish New Year is in September, not January. So you see, while you're out partying and have a good time celebrating the death of winter in January, they're not. It's in the harvest season or the spring season, depending on where you're at. Folks, it goes far beyond your scope of probably of what you realize. Ethan code incidents. I like that, man. That's awesome. But folks, I wanted to tell you this because this is some of the most important news that you could possibly wrap your mind around. It's really, really important that you focus on this. And that's why I'm saying, that's why like I've said so much, it's like, get some freaking crypto, folks. If I'm wrong, if all the people that have gotten crypto, which is a minority, by the way, but if all those people are wrong, no harm, no foul. I mean, get some that you're not attached to. Just get a couple $100 worth. So you're in the game. I got friends that have six-digit monies lying around. Cash. That's, in my opinion, it's going to be not worth anything. You might as well wipe your ass. You better hope it's double ply so you can wipe your ass with it when you're on the throne, because that's what it's going to be worth. No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows what the conversion's going to be. The money you have in the bank, are you going to have access to it? Are you not going to have access to it? Are they going to transfer it over to crypto? Folks, Venmo's using crypto. PayPal is now accepting and being able to convert crypto. Are the bells going off in your mind? You could be completely against crypto. That's okay. You may think it's from the devil, death. Folks, what if you're wrong? If I'm wrong, and you're right, great. Then we go off into Never Never Land. But if you're wrong, you're going to be totally screwed. You're not even prepared. And I don't think any of you would want to be in a position of not being prepared to some extent. And again, this is not about fear, folks. Get the fear garbage out of your mind. This is not fear mongering. This is taking a logical, smart approach to being prepared and prevention. It's not a matter of trying to make people tremble in their boots. Folks, these are real patterns in the code, man. If you're a decoder, you should be taking this to heart. These are real patterns. Serious shit. This is not like some basic crap I'm throwing your way. There's a shift coming. I don't know what it's going to look like. Could be just easy peasy. I don't know. Maybe we'll just shift into the new 5D reality. We won't have to worry about this stuff. I don't know. But if we have to go through some kind of storm, are you going to be able to weather that storm? I mean, you're listening to this message right now. Are you going to be able to weather the storm? I don't know what the storm's going to look like. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you that. Don't know. And I'm not telling you to rush out and get canned goods and water and stuff. I mean, I would definitely suggest that you probably start stocking up on that kind of stuff. You can always eat it. But folks, I mean, I don't know how much more serious I can get with all of you. You may not like me. I don't even know why you've been watching this transmission if you don't like my stuff. But my intentions are authentic and they're real. I'm not here to try to dupe you. I'm not here to try to give you false information. It's not my intentions. Do I always put out what you believe to be your truths? No. But folks, this is serious stuff here. Again, you have to start looking at who are the creators of what pushes the reality. Who are the influencers? Me and Jordan talked about this on our podcast, what we did a week and a half ago. We were talking about NASA and what people call the deception. I mean, it would be really stupid. Honestly, it would be really below us to think everything NASA puts out is all lies. I mean, that would be absolutely ludicrous to think that. It would be irresponsible. Because they put out truths, but they put out a lot of things that people call deceptions. I just think they twist it a little bit. I had mentioned earlier, I'm now leaning towards when they say we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, that's the firmament, that the barrier around Earth, that's what's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. And you ain't getting out of that. That's a strong possibility. But folks, it does, I mean, look at what's going on with gas. Look at, if you go to the grocery store, food's going up. Food has been going up slowly, slowly, slowly. I mean, I can't even say I'm prepared because I don't know what's coming down the pike. But guess what? I got crypto, folks. I got some. I can at least check that off the list. That I can do. The majority of people do not have any crypto at all, and they could not check that off the list. And it gets confusing. It's like, which one do I get? There's tons of coins, and yeah, a lot of the coins, from what I gathered, probably won't make it. So everybody's, jumping on the bandwagon. So it can be confusing and challenging. But it's not just, exactly, Caroline, it's not just the monetary reset. I mean, folks, I think everything's going to freaking come crashing down at one time. I mean, you got to remember, too, you bring in the Chinese zodiac, and we are in the year of the ox, the bull, Taurus, the Taurus fields. And you got to remember the stock market. Guess when the stock market was created? In May 17th, actually. Taurus. We're in the sign of Taurus right now in the Chinese. You must remember these things, folks. This is not a joke. This is the code. If you're a decoder, you must observe the code. We are ruled by the code. We are in the year of the ox. 2, duality. And if we are moving into the age of Aquarius, we're moving into the age of technology. We are going inward. We are going quantum. And, I mean, folks, you can resist the change all you want. But if we are naturally moving into the age of technology and man becoming machine to some degree, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I say that lightly because you may be creating your own fractal and you may not have to experience that. I don't know. But, if you look at the past 10, 20 years, how much of an influence have you had on the past 10 or 20 years? I want you to really think about this for a second. How much, and it's a question I'm directing towards all of you. How much influence have you personally had on the world as a whole in the past 20 years? What would it be? If you really think about it, and I'll include myself on that, nothing. That's how much influence we've had. We haven't been influencers. The majority of us that are in this broadcast right now have had a very minor, if at all, influence on the world stage. So you think that because your belief is something else, you're not, and your influence is going to change all that stuff? Folks, don't be naive. Okay, the people that know how the machinations of this world work, and folks, it's all magic, by the way. That's a basic you should know right now. It's all this, the throat, magic, speaking spells. And then influencing people to join the magic of what the influence is. And when you join forces with that influence, guess what happens? It creates this reality. Why do you think we are, folks, it's very possible that we will see superheroes soon. Why not? Look at what's evolved. We started out in 1929 with Superman and a 2-dimensional comic on a piece of paper. That morphed into some dolls, and then now it's on the screen, 3-dimensional, and they even have the 3D glasses. What's the next stage? It's real. There are really superheroes on the world stage. And those would be looked at as gods. Why is that so far-fetched? Think back to 1970s when you were still spinning your rotary phone. Oh, my phone is my other phone. Think about when you were still spinning your rotary phone. In the those of you that were in the 70s. Now, you can look face to face with somebody on a little square block. But you still think fiat currency is going to stick around. You think that silver and gold are going to be used to trade to buy bread and milk. I mean, where's your logic at, folks? Cars are about ready to drive themselves. I mean, are you still stuck on the horse and buggy? Folks, you got to start using some common sense. And if you're a fan of astrology, okay, start observing let's start observing astrology. If we're in the age of Aquarius, or we're about to move into the age of Aquarius, it's an air sign. It pours water out, which means knowledge. When that knowledge comes into play, that means you'll know everything. You can become anything, do anything. Doesn't that sound like a paradise to you that they talk about in theology? Sure does to me. I mean, there's a scripture in the Bible that Christ saying, follow me into the house with a man bearing a pitcher of water. That's Aquarius. I'll be in there waiting for you. Just go to the house with the man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow that man into the house. That should tell you, folks, the age is not over. If the Christ is telling you to follow a man into a house bearing a pitcher of water, and that's a resemblance of Aquarius, that means that we're all going to take what we learned here and we're going to move into the age of Aquarius. The end's not yet of what we believe to be the end. The end's just the beginning. Just got to make the truth your own, folks. But this is serious business. You got to roll with evolution. And I'm not talking about from a monkey to a man. I'm talking about how life has moved. And we're now in an age where technology is advancing so rapidly, and we'll be able to heal each other. And you know, we may be moving into the golden age. If we're moving into the age of Aquarius, folks, the opposite house of Aquarius is frickin' Leo. And what is Leo ruled by? The damn sun. That's the golden age. Gold. Which is the dragon in the Chinese zodiac. The most revered animal in all of the Chinese. Anyway, let me shift gears. I want to just, before I start taking some questions from you, some people are saying, okay, so I see fake. Folks, there's nothing fake, folks. Got to get that out of your mindset. There is nothing fake. Everything just is. Saying something's fake is like saying something's bad. Nothing's bad. Everything just is. Just be prepared. We are currency, folks. We're currency. I mean, that's what mankind is. Currency. Currency. It all comes down to currency. And we feed the battery that runs over us. We're all little worker bees. We feed the queen. We work for the queen. The queen's the battery. So folks, you know, again, I before I get on to some more topics, I want to be perfectly clear. You must understand that when somebody takes an idea called the self-fulfilling prophecy in psychology, and they come to you and they, hey, Logan, I got this great idea. Can I show it to you? Yeah, let's go. Let's sure. and they show you the idea. Oh my God, I love that idea. Oh, I know what we could do to make that idea work. Now you've just created a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you go tell Joe, and then you go tell Sharon, then you go tell Max. Next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of people believing in that idea. And what happens with magic? The idea becomes real. Now you have a real tangible thing that you can use as magic and go and sling that magic. Whether it's fake, what you call fake or not, it makes it real. Like the Christ character, I don't know if it was a real dude, and there's not one of you that are watching this transmission that can prove it was a real dude. It may be, I'm not saying that he wasn't, because he may have been, but there's no proof of it. But when you wash all that away, the idea of the Christ makes it real. So when you have these characters on the world stage in the movies and they're not real, but people are like, oh my God, you see that movie? And everybody watches the movie. Guess what gets all that energy? That idea. And that's where I feel, I had mentioned this on the pod, when I did the Flat Earth podcast with David Weiss and Danny and the Syncretism Society just a few days ago. I said that, and I had talked about this with Jordan on Waters Above Crypto. And he was like, now we're getting on the line of deception versus influence. And is NASA an influencer rather than a deceptor? Because if they give you an idea and you buy into that idea, it makes the idea real, whether it's deception or not, as we call it. So they brought to the world stage in 1969 the moon landing. And everybody bought it. Pretty much. They took an idea, they created a stage around that, and whether they went there or not, forget about that. Forget about trying to debate that. I decoded the moon landing. That idea that they casted on the news, that idea they put on the radio, that idea they put in the news headliners and the magazines and the newspapers, people bought into it. And guess what happened to that idea? It became real. So whether you believe it or not that it was fake or real, or where they really went to, the idea has made it real. So now you have an idea that could be fake, could be complete deception when we call it that, but now it's real because people bought into it. Almost everybody back in 1969. Deception was, if it was, and I'm saying if it was, I just be neutral. I don't care if it was or wasn't. Because again, folks, if you found out tomorrow, absolutely, if the astronauts came forward and said, we never went to the moon, would you be able to earn money off that? Would it give you new friends? Would it make you fall in love? Would it make you a better person? Here, let me give you the answer to that. Hell no, it wouldn't. To all of those questions. It wouldn't freaking matter. But if there's a bigger thing behind that, like again, the whole globe, if the globe's not real, why did they make it real? There's got to be something behind that. That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, if you believe we landed on the moon, you're probably vaccinated. That's not, Tobin, that's kind of not nice to say there. Go watch my moon landing Decoded. Go watch that and then you tell me what you think. All right, let me get off this topic. I'm gonna end that at that. But I wanted to give you, ladies and gentlemen, something that is worthy of giving you, rather than information, something you can use in your life that'll help you with your health. Because I like to talk about some health stuff in this podcast. Okay. So and I give kudos to Danny from the Syncretism Society for kind of pushing this on me a little bit. He was kind of the influencer of what I'm about to show you. And I had read a book many, many years ago called Earthing. And I was big into it when I had read it. But of course, life got in the way. And I moved around and forgot about it. But anyway, no, I haven't been vaccinated, folks. No, I haven't even been tested. I'm totally against the testing. I don't want anybody sticking anything up my nose. Folks, let me digress because somebody asked me that. I want you to use your common sense and logic for this, what I'm about to tell you. This is a big deal. Thank you, Tam Tam, for asking me this. Folks, I want to tell you this. In the crime scene unit of the police department or whatever, FBI, forensics, all that shit, what do they do to figure out who did the crime? What do they collect a sample of? DNA. How do you collect a sample of DNA? Primarily through the saliva. Easy peasy, right? Spit in a cup, take a swab of your saliva, and you got the DNA. The most credible thing to put somebody behind bars is DNA, and they just take it out of your saliva. Okay? But yet, this test that they want to do, they need to take this Q-tip and freaking shove it as far up your nose as they possibly can. What? So to collect your DNA, it's just a little swab of your saliva on your lips. But to test you for that, they got to go way up to your nasal cavity? How much sense does that make, folks? Use your common sense. There's something else behind this, folks. Anyway, I don't know how much more proof people need. I mean, come on. DNA is right there. Anyway, folks, let me get back to what I was saying. So this earthing thing's a big deal. So underneath my desk, because I spent a lot of time in front of the computer. Okay, that's not a secret for me. I spent a lot of time in front of, and when you're in front of the computer electronics, you're taking on a ton of electromagnetic frequencies, and if you don't release those, you can get really charged up. And when I was over at Danny's, he had actually gotten copper wire run to his house. He's got the real deal there where he wears the ankle bracelet and it discharges him. But he was showing me, I went to his house, he's got a voltmeter. And so he's like, here, touch the voltmeter. And the freaking thing went sky high for me. And that was my big wake up call. I was just like, oh shit, that's pretty high. So he got me back into the earthing, which again, it was like probably 10 years ago that I was into it when I first got into it. So anyway, he got the copper wire drilled and went down like 20 feet in the ground. And I mean, he went to the extreme, but most of you probably don't have the capability of doing that to release. And grounding's tough because if you're inside a lot, how do you ground? I try to go to the beach every day and I'm in the sand, the water, I'm grounding. And it's very, very healthy to do. So big shout out to Danny and the Syncretism Society. This is a big piece of them. But anyway, I went on to Amazon and I got this this setup right here. You don't have to get this one, but this is called Land Kissing is the company. It's a grounding mat, and inside the box it has this really cool thing. It's a bracelet thing, and you can wrap this around your ankle, and then you plug this into the grounding wire in the wall, and you wear this when you sleep. So it grounds you in your sleep. So you just slide it over your foot, and then it comes with, I got with the two, but it comes with this mat, and you can either put it on your desktop or you can put it underneath you. It's where I have mine, and you just put your feet on it when you're in front of the computer, and it grounds you. And you just plug it into the ground unit in your wall socket, and it just uses that as the ground. So I just wanted to, I'm not promoting Land Kissing. It's just, this is the one I got, but I just wanted to just give all to you that are not doing this, maybe you want to consider that. Because again, the decoding reality is making yourself a better person. And part of that is through your health, a big part of that. Because if you're not healthy, you can become miserable, and then you won't decode because you're too busy trying to play catch up on your body. So, but folks, you can't ground enough. I mean, even if you get outside and you're great, you lay on the lawn, that's awesome. But going barefoot, it just doesn't cut it. And I love stones, but stones don't cut it. And the shungite is a theory of collecting EMFs. It's a complete theory. It's not proven. Okay, so I'm just suggesting these are super cheap, like $50, $40, and you should get one if you're in front of the computer a lot, like I am, right? So, so just check it out, folks. It's just something. It's just a gift that I had gotten from Danny, because he's big into it, and he reminded me, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get, and so I got one. So I sleep with one. And I've noticed a difference. I can honestly tell you that my protocol, I noticed a difference. So I just wanted to throw that out to all of you. So maybe if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. Right? Okay. So let me see how many people we got on here. Not too many. Okay. It's probably because what time is it? It's 1:30 in the morning. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got it. Oh, almost 100. Okay. So let's start taking some phone calls. Here, let me just pop on my... Bam. Wait for that to catch up on the stream. And if you want to call in, now's your chance. You can talk about anything you want. If you have a question, make it very specific. I can pull a card for you. If you don't have a question, what's the most important thing for you to focus on in your life right now? I'm not going to do any card pulls on the text. You got to call in for this right here, folks. Don't be shy. Don't be chicken. I don't have to announce your name. You don't have to say your name if you don't want to. Okay? But I am only doing WhatsApp. You'll notice you can't call my number because it's a U.S. number and I'm in Mexico. So you got to call the WhatsApp. But wait for those of you that have called in before many times, give some other people a chance. Okay? I got my regulars. I love all of you, but... Okay. No video calls, just phone calls. All right. So if you want to call in and ask, we can talk about anything you want to talk about, but I'm not going to make them 5-10 minute phone calls. Let's keep them short and sweet. If you got a question, boom, let's get your questions. Let's get some questions. If you want to talk about anything that I've decoded, we can talk about that. If you have something that you've decoded, I'll talk about that. Whatever you want to talk about, folks. Let's take some phone calls. Now's your chance. All right, now's your chance. I'm going to leave this open for like 5-10 minutes. See if we have any courageous ones. How do you walk in ground without getting parasites? You don't. Folks, I'm telling you, I'm just saying from my experience, stones are not going to release your EMFs. They're not. They're not going to do it. I've tested it. All right. But you got to have a question. Don't just call in because you want to call in and be the first caller. I mean, folks, we don't have to. It's all good. Because I'm gonna do the we're gonna do the conscious card pull here in a little bit. I think what I'm gonna probably do, we're gonna do the conscious card pull, the collective consciousness card pull, and then I'm gonna try to go to the sneak peek, and I'm gonna end it on that because I wanna really show you guys the Shemitah and the 50-year Jubilee this year. And the Bretton Woods and 1971 Richard Nixon. This is probably the biggest thing out of tonight is that, and I wish I could talk about it more, but all right, no takers. Everybody's sleeping on the train right now. That's funny. Everything is a parasite. Absolutely. Well said. We are all parasites. Everybody, everything. Everything feeds off of Mother Earth. That makes you a parasite. I got Telegram too. You can call me on Telegram. I got Telegram, Signal, or WhatsApp. That number that's showing up on there, that number is good for Signal, Telegram, all that stuff. I'm up on all of them. I don't really care about WhatsApp and Facebook. I don't really care. Everything's being monitored anyway. So if you got nothing to hide, like, listen, folks, I think we're at the stage of the game now where it doesn't matter right now. I don't know who owns Telegram. Kevin Clark, what's up, brother? But it doesn't matter, folks. Oh, here we go. So we got our first victim. I'm saying victim. 212, go ahead. 212, go ahead.
Hi.
Hello.
I would like to. Hello. Sorry.
Hi.
Is it Logan?
This is.
You live in Mexico, correct?
I do.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to know about me?
I was watching. Hi, I'm. My name is Eleonora.
Hi, Eleonora.
I was listening tonight for your live.
Thank you.
I'm preparing. Yeah, we know you for months, and we really appreciate everything. What I want to ask. I'm Bulgarian. I live here for 22 years with my family, and I'm just thinking you just made this tonight just on time for me, because I was in a crossroad to decide what to do exactly. I read so much. I don't know if you ever heard, but they said that Bulgaria is going to be one of the last lands that is going to survive. The people in Bulgaria are just 12% of the whole population in Bulgaria vaccinated. They absolutely refuse to do that. So Bulgaria is on the last place for vaccination. And I just wanted to know, what do you think? What is your inside feeling
about Bulgaria and the percentage of people and on what's going on in the world stage? Is that what your question is?
Yeah, because you were talking exactly what I was concerning. I have just my inside feeling that everything will happen overnight here, and they will start from US because of many different circumstances.
Mm-hmm. So you're in the US right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Go ahead.
Maybe you have to calculate and go over this, but I'm just wondering if this is true, and if I have to follow just my inside instinct.
Okay. All right. Well, I actually don't have a direct answer for you on this question you have, because it would just come down to an opinion. I don't have any, insight into Bulgaria per se, and really, I don't think anyone knows how it's going to all go down, right? How this climax is all going to take place. All I can really assure you, and kind of give you suggestions on this, is you got to just make yourself in the best position that you possibly can be in right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, correct.
It's not a matter of being selfish at this stage in the game. I'm talking about putting yourself in the best possible scenarios so you can have the best possible outcomes. Because if there's any worse outcomes out there, you may be able to come and be a rescuer of those, less than fortunate outcomes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I understand everything, and thank you so much for what you're doing, because you really made me to make my own decision
Good for you.
how to go and where to go. Yeah.
Good for you.
Uh,
Well done.
I had the same feelings. It's just confirmation from what I watched tonight. Thank
Well
you so
done.
much.
You're very welcome. Much love to you. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
calling in.
Bye bye.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
So there we go. You know, make the truth your own. And folks, it's not a matter of being selfish at this stage of the game. It's really a matter of living your highest potential. Because if nothing was going on in the world right now, in the sense of on the world stage right now, I would still be shouting from the rooftops the same kind of stories and messages. Decode yourself. Become the best version of yourself. Stop letting people influence you. Unless it's something that's going to influence you that will make you a better person. Many people out there are not living out their true selves because they're too busy being influenced by somebody else, something else. Shattering their dreams, if there is such a thing. We're getting closer, folks. I don't have all the answers. I just don't. I just see the patterns. And, remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's not your job. It's not your responsibility to wake anybody up. It's just not. It's not your job or responsibility to wake people up. The only job and responsibility you have is to wake yourself up. I know who this is calling, and this must be Christine, because I know this is the only 206 that call. Is this Christine?
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes. Oh, not a whole lot. I was trying to break away from the party and come and get a card pulled.
Party? What's going on up there in Washington? What do you want to talk about, Christine?
Oh, I just wanted to get a card pulled.
Okay.
That's all.
Sure, you're easy peasy. Okay.
And
everybody's calling in. Everybody's calling in now, Christine. You kind of smart. Everybody's calling in. Once they come in, they start coming in, man. Everybody wants to start calling in. All right.
Right.
Well, you got so you got the elk card number 3. You got the card of pie, baby. But this card, of course, the elk is, the elk family, and it's really, the elk is all about taking care of the ones that are closest, the elk family, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. Strong, the elk.
Yeah.
Yep. So taking care of those around you, those that are close to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Got the message?
Yeah.
You got the book anyway, so.
Yeah, I have the book.
Yeah, you got the book. Awesome.
But it's yeah.
Okay.
I like that card.
I like all the cards. But I like that card too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's one half of your 31. Today's the 31st. This is a power number for you today, by the way. Well, it was, because actually, yeah, you're still in the 31st. Still 11:38 there. So you got about 20 minutes left. You better get going.
I know. Well, my next door neighbor, his birthday is, we share the same birthday.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like, as soon as Leo season started, he goes, Christine, we're having a drink every night.
Oh, man. Right on.
And I told him, I said, I think, no, Thursday night, I told him, I said, okay,
Well, be careful.
I got to take a day off.
Yeah, be careful with that. Be careful with that. All right, Christine. Well, you got the elk, so I hope you know what to do with that. We're going to let you go, but thanks for calling in. Always appreciate your love and support. Master number 33 life path you are. So we got another call coming in. Christine, have a great night up there in Mercer Island. Make good with that 20 minutes you got left there on the 31st. All right. All right. All the best to you.
All right.
865. Go ahead.
What's up, buddy? It's
What-
Ethan.
Hey, what's up, Ethan? Finally get to hear your
It
voice.
actually, it actually worked.
Yeah, man. Well, you sound like you're from the South, brother.
I live in Tennessee. I've
Tennessee.
been down here.
Very cool. I almost moved to where was I going to move to? Nashville, I think it was. Are you anywhere close to Nashville?
Are you trying to be a country singer?
No, I would probably fail at that, brother. But no, I got a friend that lives in Chattanooga, I think. So somebody
Yeah, I'm in Sevierville, about 4 miles from the Smokies.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. You get snow up there?
Depending on the elevation.
Yeah.
Where I live, I'm about 1,400 feet, and I got a mountain right in the backyard, so that's about 3,600 feet. So that gets snow in the wintertime.
Gotcha. Awesome.
But, yeah.
Well, it's nice to hear from you, Ethan. You've been busy decoding, and I love your mindset. So I wanted to just give a big shout out and thank you for your great decodes.
I guess since there's an audience, I guess I'll ask you, how did you get started doing all this?
Well, I will give credit where I always give credit. I started watching Zach Hubbard's videos in 2013, and that's what sparked me to go on my journey. I had already invested time into numerology and astrology on the light side, but when I started watching some of his stuff with the sports, I was really intrigued, and I started to decode myself, and that was kind of where I got started with that. So. Yeah, but obviously, the variations between him and I now.
Yeah.
He does his thing, I do mine, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still follow him, support him. Don't even know why, but
that's all good.
Like I said, I do give him credit, and I've reached out to him, and I've corresponded with him. Very friendly, and I don't know what the hesitancy is as far as not wanting to further his research, and that's what at a certain point, and I had already kind of discovered whatever you want to call gematria, numerology, but seeing the significance in it, but not really being able to apply it to anything. And what I compare just using the gematria to is, I'm a carpenter, so I look at everything in terms of building, how things are constructed, and that's the equivalent of having a tape measure and a pile of 2x4s at random lengths and just going around. It's like, well, this equals this and this equals that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but using pi, mathematics, the alchemical method, tying all that together, that's where you can further construct and build and paint a larger picture and have something actually make sense. So when you're trying to tell friends and family, you don't sound like a crazy person. And if you actually repeat some of these things you say to you, I'm sure all of us have, tried convincing family and friends otherwise. And it doesn't sound, the argument is not there. And I've often used the law analogy as well, where like if you're wanting to prove your case, you need evidence, and your opinion really is your opinion at that. So
yep.
You need to.
Well, you know how I roll.
You need to bring something. Yeah. I give you credit for as well. I had stumbled upon. Was watching another YouTube channel, and the guy had actually just mentioned a video he had watched of yours, and I looked your channel up, and I immediately saw the significance of the applications, and I had already, using the gematria, I'd discovered some pretty compelling synchronicities that no longer are coincidence. And I don't know if you'd seen my comment. Kind of coined a new term instead of a.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty nice, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, you have some great observations. I think you've contributed quite a bit to my observations. So thank you so much. Your emails have been definitely thought-provoking for me, and it takes a lot for me to get provoked with my thoughts. So you've done that. So congrats and thank you for your contributions.
You are welcome. Praise is not what I'm after. I just, I've had answers my entire life, and the more you've opened my eyes, the synchronicities with my own life are, have hit me like they've smacked me in the face pretty hard. And
Yep. Well, that's the way it is, man. It's smacking each other in the face. I guess that's what it comes down to is smacking each other in the face with our truths, right? And seeing what sticks.
And it's these brief moments of clarity where it hits you, and it's like that is why that happened, and it can be from something 20 something years prior.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it makes perfect sense, and my father, he's, we've often had differing views, and always friendly, but the synchronicities are hard to deny and dismiss and brush off as coincidence.
Yep.
And like you're saying, I forget what. You can give yourself 20 minutes with someone, and then you can show them, even in their own life, how it's coded. And I've been doing that more and more, and and a lot of this stuff, it literally comes random. I'm not sitting here just trying to, like you said, fit a square peg in a round hole. I am.
Yep.
Well, I'd heard you mention, when you hear that song, don't, immediately decode it, run it through the gematria calculator, see where it fits.
Yep.
I like to kind of start with the periodic tables to kind of figure out what it is we're even dealing with, define it. Is this a person, place, thing, concept? And you can, further determine, which cipher to use. And as far as, the preference of ciphers, I don't have some preference to the satanic because it sounds cool and I'm a Satanist.
Sure.
I just
use it because
noticed I just noticed synchronicities within that was very telling. And the Chaldean, I've done a lot of research into that, and old no books I've actually read, but PDFs of old books online, and these are from 1880, talking about the Chaldean cipher. So that thing being old and relevant and coming from the Rosicrucians, and decoding these things that are let's just call it timeless, that are have ever been present and always will be present. The Chaldean's going to be your best bet. These new phrases and, news headlines, maybe the English seems more applicable in that.
Yep.
I find a lot with this ritualistic stuff and anything to do with circles, cycles, time, whether it be the 227, the 314, that satanic is the most revealing one. And I don't know. And Zach's, I tried calling him Zach, 30 times one night, and he's, sitting there just firing blind, talking about this whole, DMX incident, and it's 79, that's got Jesuit numbers on it, and it's got the 121 and blood sacrifice, and I'm literally screaming and trying to get through, and I swear I'm like watching him like like getting annoyed at the phone's beep, but I literally just shut down the phone line, and I'm like, man, whatever, man. But
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for calling in, my friend. I appreciate it. I got more calls coming in. Did you have a question at all? Or you just wanted to come on and share some space? I appreciate you calling in no matter what.
I just wanted to.
Thanks for calling, Ethan.
I didn't want to leave you hanging. Wanted to see if this WhatsApp thing worked,
man.
but we will
cool.
correspond further. I don't really do the YouTube. Not saying I don't want to get into it, but
that's all good. Yeah, I'm on
everything has its time and place. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for calling. Make sure you decode your full number, the number you have that up here. I won't say it, but make sure folks. I
am aware.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, I got another call coming in, Ethan. But thanks so much for calling in. It was nice to hear your voice, brother. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
All right, Logan. You have a good night.
You too, brother. All the best.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks, man. Much love.
All right, bye.
Go ahead, 372. Oh, 9988. Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. Can you take me off speakerphone, though, because I can barely hear you?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
Is better now?
A little bit better, yeah. If you can, are you holding the phone?
Yes, I'm holding the phone.
Okay, cool. Yeah. How you doing?
So
you called in before. I recognize your number.
This is Ralph.
Ralph, what's up, brother?
What's up? So, big things are up. So I took your advice and started to really get into the Get Rich program, and I've been working with it for the past 2 weeks and so. And I don't know if it's the program, but I've been seeing some huge changes to
awesome
the point of view of the world, and I've also won huge amounts of money. I placed a bet, and then I hit really big, and the next day hit big again. The chances of me winning those bets were astronomically low, but something in me told me that those bets were going to win.
I love it.
Yes.
And all you've done differently is you took my suggestion on watching the Born Rich program that's free on YouTube, and you've applied it, and you've been watching it now for the past couple of weeks, and your life's changing, right?
Yes, but not also watching, also taking really studying it and really applying the things. Yep.
That's all it is. It's just a matter of changing the way you think, and then you start applying those new ways of thought, and your life starts to change. So bravo, man. Well done. Thanks for the feedback. It's always nice to hear somebody making some forward progress in their life, and I can tell your excitement in your voice. So imagine what your life's going to be like 4 or 6 weeks from now. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
I took all those profits and I put them in. There's this thing called NFTs, and I invested in those really hyped NFTs, and I'm holding them now, and I'm pretty sure these are gonna skyrocket.
Awesome, dude. Well, keep me posted on this, brother. Oh, that's so good news. I'm so happy to hear, man. That's awesome. Well, keep doing that. Just make sure you keep watching The Born Rich, and when you watch it through, watch it again. Do it for 6 months. Watch it every day, all the time, and you're just going to keep getting it, and your life's going to change, and it's going to keep changing, and you're going to keep getting better and better at it. So, well done, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. But I haven't even been able to finish the series in 2 weeks. I've been I've taken the 5 episodes, and I've really deciphered them, and taking notes and applying them slowly, so I don't just watch it through fast. So it takes 3 weeks to really get through it really deeply.
Yeah, totally. Well, there's no time limit on that, right? It's just go at your own pace. But if you can do it a little bit every day, you become better at it, right? Repetition. Yeah. So well done. Well, keep me posted. Stay in touch with all of us and keep us posted on your progress. Maybe you want to call in a couple more weeks and let me know, or let us all know how your progress is. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. But I want to talk about a few more things.
Sure.
So I was always thinking like all those spiritual videos and like attracting videos, manifestation videos. When you watch those after this, it's like the information is so vague and it's unapplicable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not enough, and that's why I'm advising for everybody who's watching that kind of stuff and like trying to have a major change happen. That's not going to work. You really have to create new brain cells for and have like a new picture, build a picture of things.
Mm-hmm.
like in the Born Rich series.
Yep.
Also, what do you think about vision boards? Because
love them.
He doesn't speak.
Love vision boards.
Have you created any?
Of course, I love vision boards. Vision boards work because you project onto your mind constantly what you want to see. So it's just it's your future self just downloading the information now, and then you're just kind of fast tracking it to jumpstart yourself to get whatever it is you want in the future right now. So I love vision boards.
Okay, then I'll be sure to create a few of my own.
Make one, brother. Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
But also, can you do a card pull?
A card for you? Yeah, of course. You have a specific question?
No, just the usual.
Usual, typical. What's the most important thing for you to focus on in your life?
Yeah, what's the most important thing?
Okay. Can I pull from the middle of the deck? Is that okay?
Pull it from like more under.
Under. You want it towards the bottom?
Towards the bottom, yeah.
Okay. So most important thing for you to focus on in your life right now. Well, you got the card of spiritual quests. So this is the 8 of Cups, and this card is all about leaving behind something that doesn't really work for you anymore and moving towards something that's new. So this is actually the card of Prometheum. And Prometheum was the god that stole fire and gave it to the humans. So when you can put in that context of your own life, it's you walking away from something that no longer serves you and moving on to bigger and better things. And either that's going to be right now for you, or you've made that decision and you're about to embark on a journey that will provide you with rewards that you haven't even tapped into yet. Sounds exciting, huh?
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's exciting, brother.
A few plans that I want to do.
Awesome. But if you need more information on that, just go to the favorite search bar and type in 8 of Cups, Teach Me Tarot, and you'll be able. Yeah, man, 8 of Cups, and just go read about that card, and you'll find more significance for that card.
All right, buddy. Okay, it was nice speaking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling in and the feedback, man. All the best and much love to you over there.
You too.
Okay, brother. Adios. Oh man, see, folks. So if you're not studying the book, listen, folks, if you're in transition, if you need more finances in your life, if you need more money in your life, if you just want to become a better person and change your mindset, go to YouTube, type in Bob Proctor, Born Rich. It's remastered. There's 14 parts, I think it is. Start watching them. I got the workbook. So if you want the workbook to follow along, I have the original workbook from the 1980s. Send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com, and I'll send it to you. I got the original workbook, but you got to be serious about this. You can't just like watch it for a half hour and be like, oh, la, la, la. It doesn't work flying around with unicorns. It doesn't work lollygagging around. You gotta put this stuff into practical application. You gotta start getting serious with this kind of stuff. If that's what you want in your life, that's what you feel like your code is moving towards. Okay? And for those of you that I have missed your phone call, you got to keep up on the video has a little bit of a lag to it, but you want to call in again. If I missed your call 2-3 times, I know some of you have. I had plenty of phone calls coming in. I apologize. But yeah, just keep calling in. Okay? Born Rich. Born Rich. There we go. It's called. I'll put it in the thing. Born Rich. Bob Proctor. If you're looking to change your life with the way your mindset, if you're thinking negative, if you're thinking negative, if you analyze your thoughts and you authentic with yourself, are you thinking more positive or negative? Thinking about more constructive things or destructive things? Bob Proctor will change the way you think. Quick. But you got to use it every day. Like, he's applying it every day. How do you become good at playing guitar? Play every day. If you don't play every day, will you become as good as someone that plays every day? Probably not. There are exceptions, but you go on averages. If you want to become good at something, you do it every day. Do you know why you're good at taking a shower? You're very efficient at taking a shower, all of you, because you do it every day. I mean, do you have to sit there and think about drying yourself off, or do you just do it? How about driving your car? Typically, all of you, when you're driving, you don't even pay. You're like, how did I even get here? You didn't even drive the car. You were off in Never Never Land. That's how good you are at driving the car. You got to get good. If you want to get good at life, you got to put things into practice. Okay? All right, so we have another call coming in. Raina, go ahead.
Hey, let me, hi. I think I'm annoying right now. Let me check my, okay. Can you hear me okay?
You're very low monotone, but are you on speakerphone? If you're on speakerphone, please get off speakerphone.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, now your volume's up. Thank you for joining in tonight, and thanks for your calling in. Yeah. Where are you calling from?
So I'm calling in Naples, Florida.
Oh,
3
nice.
in the morning.
Naples,
right,
Florida, 3 in the morning. Thanks for joining in. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a good friend of mine, Pete, who's from Naples.
Pete. Okay. Yeah, I know him. He's awesome, man.
Oh, you know Pete Petrie?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
No.
Everybody should know Pete, though. He's a great guy.
I know. I bet. All right. So I was born January 21st, 1975.
Oh, 121, baby, in the house.
Okay, no, right. And so it was 9:10, Philadelphia area, PM.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, the question I have is, I hear about being double-crossed. There's a woman, she's amazing. She does alchemical astrology on YouTube. And it was just like, wow, like maybe I'm a Capricorn, but I fit the script with Aquarius.
Uh-huh.
So I really just don't know how to read it properly, but I really find myself just Aquarius. Okay. And the last thing, like I have my girlfriend that has, she's Leo. She fits more of a Leo, but maybe she's a Cancer.
What's her birthday?
Back to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we, yeah, that's it. Just like how would I know if according to the decode that you have?
Perfect question. Yeah, that's a great question. Well, you're close to the cusp, right? You're close to the cutoff point. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got to read from both, right? So in the Vedic, have you looked at your Vedic astrology?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. So see, you got to start with your Vedic astrology because you may have some crossovers there. Listen, this is a great example for all of you that resonate with. Did I say your name, Raina? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you resonate with Raina's experiences here, if you're a cuspy person or you're close to the cusp of a zodiac sign, you primarily got to read from both. And then there's a way to kind of finalize that information. Now, Raina, I'm working on an instructional video. It's coming out on how to decode yourself, and it will be a more advanced way than the how to decode yourself video that I put out on that's free to watch on my channel. Okay. But it will show you the advanced layers of how to read both signs, how to finalize and narrow it down, because there's a specific way to do it, but you got to read from both. Yeah. You got to read from both, and you got to go with your heart. And the tricky part though is finding your blind sides or your blind spots, because the best way to do it is those of you that have partners. You could have your partner decode you, and then you decode yourself. And I think it would be safe to say that your partner will probably come up with things that you didn't come up with. Right?
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the blind spots are really where it's at. For those of you that are single, it's tough because you don't have a partner. But those of you that have a partner, husband, wife, whatever, you can say, hey, you decode me and I'll decode you. And then you can trade what you decoded. And you'll find that there are like, you think I'm that? Yeah, you're absolutely that. Right? And it's valuable if you become authentic with yourself. That's the key.
Yes.
Is just to be authentic with yourself. Even if it's things that you don't want to hear, being authentic truly brings out the best in you. Because we have defaults that we got to recognize.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any of the Capricorn, but there's probably so much more than I have to learn about.
Well, yeah, do you have any planets in Capricorn at all?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm so new at this. And
okay. So you got to figure that out. I mean,
right.
if you want, I do readings. Maybe that's something you'd want to be interested in. You can just send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com, or you can just go to if you go to my website is cosmicsugar.org, cosmicsugar.org. Yeah, I might just click on my readings. All my readings are there. I got 3 readings that I do. My most popular is about 3 to 4 hours. So we go through a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah. You're very, very. You give a lot of your time. You're really good at listening. I could see in your eyes.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. Why I said about the baby. The baby
oh,
picture.
you were the sparkle.
Like,
sparkle comment.
Yeah. Well, it was more than sparkle. It's more like you're curious, like a baby's curious.
Oh yeah.
That look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely. Yeah. And to get that jerk out of us is so important. Like I could be such a asshole, like with this whole injection and talking to people about how they're just so brainwashed, but realizing it's not my place. I have to just what's true to me, like you say, what's true to us individually. Yeah. It's been the most trying times has been the last year and a half, really waking up to really who I am.
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's more important than anything else. That's what this whole waking up period is. It's not about waking anybody else up. It's waking yourself up. Yeah, because we've all been asleep.
And
all of us have been asleep at some point. If you say you're awake now,
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like even if I say I'm awake, I'm probably still asleep to so many other things. So.
Sure, absolutely. There's great. It's a gradient. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say with Jordan, we're members of his.
I love. Yeah,
his orders. Yeah,
awesome.
with the Patreon and all that.
Nice,
really, we've been there with him for a while and got loaded up. I mean, I've been there with it for like a year with my studies and my investments. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it can be a place where you get the rug pulled out, and you not like the way they use that term, but I'm talking about the Great Reset rug pull. So it's very important to, like you said, not to be left with your pants down. So thanks for everything.
Totally. Yeah, and make sure you just you're the 6 diamonds card, and that's the that's the Master 6, and diamonds is money. So you're definitely someone who can embrace being a very well-versed entrepreneur and master something during this lifetime if you resonate with that. But it's a matter of, going to, if money was no object, that's where you're going to find your bliss.
Well, when the whole session goes, we'll go into that. I don't want to take it up on public, but I would like to talk more about that. All right.
Love to.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Raina, for calling, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Much love to Naples.
Have a good night.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So there we go. Naples, Florida's in the house. Folks, I can't stress to all of you enough through everything we talked about tonight. Forget about the freaking static in the world. Forget about the theater in the world. Forget about the bullshit in the world. Forget about worrying if someone's going to do this tomorrow. Forget about what they're going to, or what they already did. I can't believe they went and got that. Oh my God, it's just painful. You see, you saying that is casting magic spells. And you're actually giving those ideas or people or whatever you're talking about, you're actually giving them a piece of your energy. And you're probably not getting anything in return that you would want to use, because it is reciprocal. But that's why, when you use politics, let's just use that for an example. Okay. How much energy did you devote to politics? Like it was, with Trump, and a lot of people gave a lot of energy to that guy, and he took it. Became a bigger and better person because of it. So he made out like a bandit. And what did you get left with? I mean, if he never came into office, do you think your life would have changed for the better or for the worst? I mean, I don't take anything away from that guy, being responsible in the position he was in, being put in that position of creating this and creating that, whatever. But folks, as long as I can personally remember, since I've been alive, since 1973, I can't even remember. I have never, ever, 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 ever made a correlation to myself and the White House and them making me a better person. Ever. It's never happened. Doesn't matter who's been in office. Not one of those people have ever made my life better. Guess who made my life better? Me and the closest people around me. That's who made my life better. Those are the people that deserve your energy, that deserve your magic. Not somebody that is playing out a script on the world stage. I don't give a shit what their position is. I don't care how much you like that person. Listen, if they're in a position of power like that, they're reading a script. They're playing out a script that's beyond a script. The contradiction of the script. We're all living out our own script, but then there's scripts after the script and after the script. Like if you're in Hollywood and you're an actor or actress and you go to do an audition, they're going to give you a script to read. That's a script after the script. And then you got to play out that script. That's what politics do. They play their scripts out. It's all theater. And it's so powerful because so many people have. And folks, listen, I was one of them. I actually enjoy watching politics. It's in my code. But I've learned to just observe it from a neutrality standpoint because they don't give me anything back. What do those people give me? Nothing. I mean, I might as well just go pay attention to a Barbie doll because that's the kind of energy I'm going to get back. Folks, if you realize any time you are going to give energy to anything, you should pay attention to what will you get back in return. What are you going to get back in return? Or are you just leeching your energy like a leech field? Like on here, all of you great people giving your messages. So I'm giving you this information. Whatever you do with it is up to you. And then you give your information, and it's a reciprocation. Right? And you're here because you decided you wanted to be here. You could be anywhere else. You don't have to be here. But you're here and you're getting a reciprocation of energy. You're not going to get that with politics. You're not going to get that watching a big dildo get launched up into space, which is a big joke. I don't know if any of you realized it or not, but Amazon, their logo has a penis on it. It's a dildo. A to Z, go look at their logo. A to Z, that's a penis. Because it's all about magic, injecting things into reality. People just don't pay attention to it. So those of you that are like, I'm not letting, so, okay, Jane, I ain't letting Biden win no matter what. So that means you're taking sides. So if you're taking sides, you're giving energy to one side and you're going to lose no matter what. All right, let's take this call coming in. 425, go ahead. Oh, you muted your call, 425. You got to take your phone call off mute. There we go. 425, go ahead. And if you're on speakerphone, you're going to have to come off speaker. You muted your call again. 425, you got to take your phone call off. And you got to, and whatever, and if you don't mind muting me in the background, because there's going to be a delay. And
okay. Well,
425, go ahead. And if you're on speakerphone, you're going to have to come off speaker. Yeah, just mute me in the background.
Okay.
You muted your call again. Am I on your phone or computer? In the background.
I'm muting you in the background. I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay, this time I'm not going to talk about my fluffy.
You're going to have to mute me before we move forward, though, because there's a big delay and echo. So if I'm on your phone at the same time you're on this phone call, this is not going to work. But you still have me on mute. Okay. So we'll just wait for this person to come on. So Connor's asking, can you put this in the calculator? New World Order. New World Order is 58. Yeah, there we go. 425. How you doing tonight?
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, I have a couple of different things here.
Cool.
And I'm Gemini because you even called it that last time. My brain's going mile a minute.
Nice.
So there's a couple of different things going on right now. I don't know if you're familiar with the lawsuit with the Purdue case.
No.
But there's a lot of stuff going on with the Oxycontin and the lawsuit with all that. So I wrote that down.
Okay.
There's a bankruptcy and all that. Many people are aware of it. So I have that written down. And then I also have information about the cryptocurrency because one would lead to another. And then also information that I'm wondering about trying to come down to Mexico still yet.
Okay.
And the responsibility of taking care of a mother with 3 older brothers and I'm the only girl. So I don't know where to go from there. And you sent me information about a lawyer, about sovereignty, and my mind is so overwhelmed. I just don't know where to go from here.
I don't think that was me. Maybe that was Syncretism Society. That what doesn't sound like me. You're talking about what's her name on Facebook? Yeah. I think I sent you her information. Yeah, she's awesome, but I'm still an amateur at that stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I'm just so overwhelmed, and I have no one to talk to about it.
Well,
I would probably like to catch up with Christine actually here in Mercer Island. I'm just about a half hour away from there, but anyway, there's just so many different things, and with what's happening in the world right now.
Yep.
I was hoping one would lead to the other, so that I could maybe come down and get some healing done to the brain, so that I can think properly and respond properly and decode properly. So
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know which one to ask.
Well, first and foremost, there's two kind of separate parameters that we can talk about. Number one, you have your physical health and then your mental health, right? And obviously both are very valuable and important. Without the physical, though, if your mental health is at least in a neutral state, if you're able to think straight, and it sounds like you are, your mental health is fine, then I would just go right to your physical health. And, are you physically fit? Can you go multiple days of fasting? At this stage of the game, I would be asking these questions like, have you ever fasted before? Have you ever done a detox before? Are you in your Are you at your ideal weight? These are common things that I would be checking off the list. What kind of supplementation are you taking in? These are very, very important right now because if we are moving into, kind of dire straits or food shortages. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could be in tune for anything right now, but the physical health is something that's really, really important that I stress upon people. And, are you working out 3, 4, 5 times a week, getting your exercise in? Are you physically fit? That would be something that I would want to check off the list for anybody listening to this message that resonates with this, like what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Well, that's the very first thing that you should be paying attention to before you're thinking about going anywhere on vacation, traveling anywhere unless of course you're trying to get healing from the physical. If you would need that, then, coming here to Mexico, maybe something.
You're right on.
Okay. So you're looking for some healing.
Well, everything. I mean, all kind of I totally believe in what you're saying, and whenever I go for my exercise right now, I'm always thinking, okay, the selfishness of what you mentioned. If it's selfish not to take care of yourself, and I see this as, like I said, the only daughter. I've got 3 older brothers, but I'm the one who's going to help take care of my mom, and that's always so important because the people that need to be healthy, family members wind up taking care of them. Then I can't live out my desired goal, so I think about that every time. Right now, I used to be like, big time into fitness, but this, the medication that they have pushed on people, thank God I woke up about 3 years ago out of this, a coma, literally. Mm-hmm. And I think it was spirit, whatever you want to call it, but it woke me up to this whole new reality. And that's when I called it after my dog had passed away. And I just felt like some connection with you. And obviously many of your people on here, like the woman who just called, you have an honesty in you that we feel comfortable talking to you about. And also I saw Santos's videos, but anyway, I don't want to take too long, but there's just so many different things in my brain on which direction to go. So you're definitely right about health, but where to invest a little bit of income right now or a little bit of money I have, whether it's in crypto or into doing a reading with you, which is a choice that I have to do, or just having somebody to talk to like yourself is helpful. So,
well,
you pulled the armadillo card last time. I just want to add that in.
Okay. Well, that's, having a hard shell and, the armadillo is tough, and being really tough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, obviously you have a lot of things going on in your code right now, right? And that can be challenging because you want to be service to self as much as you can to raise your frequency as high as it can without encroaching upon where you disassociate yourself from being service to the world, right? So that's a fine line. So how do you get there?
Very fine.
It's a very fine line, but when you get there and you know how to do it, it becomes simple, where you can become like a high frequency, vibrational frequency kind of person, but at the same time, you're of service to others, right? And then, there are people that have to take care of their mother, father, whatever, if that's part of the code right now, that, you got to go with your heart and then you got to go with common sense and logic at the same time. You just wouldn't abandon family to come down to Mexico, right? To give you an example, right? I mean, that's common sense. So if you squash all this together, okay, well, if I can't go anywhere, then I'm going to set up shop and I'm going to make my environment the best it could ever be because I'm going to be here for a while, right? So if that's the case for you, then you would want to set that up just like that. And you want to check off all the things off the list to get your frequency the high it possibly can be. So if people have to rely on you, if you have to be the crutch, then you want to be the most solid crutch you can possibly be, to where people doesn't even faze me. Like I can handle anything, right? So I mean, I
just don't feel that strength. I just don't feel that strength.
Okay.
One thing you mentioned before is you like the sun, and up here in Washington, I mean, it's like sunny right now, but 6 months, 7 months out of the year, it's torture. So
totally. So maybe you should move.
Yeah, exactly. It's like being torn in 2 different directions.
I get it.
Take care of yourself, bro.
I get it. But
and then being adopted. I'm the only adopted person, so then there's a certain amount of guilt that you feel like, oh,
gotta get rid of the guilt.
It's my turn to take care of.
Got to get rid of the guilt. That's it. As simple as that. See, people don't live in your shoes. People don't wake up in your shoes. People don't have to walk in your shoes. So if you can kind of, again, it's not a matter of like having guilt and then getting rid of the guilt. It's a matter of what's causing the guilt, right? And that's a personal thing. So if you find the root of the guilt, I can assure you it's probably something you bolted on to what really happened. And it's part of your story. It's not really anything part of what happened. It's just your story that you created on top of what happened. And you're causing the guilt to yourself, which we all do it.
Oh,
myself included.
So
huh?
And you said you were an only child, I think you said, and you were able to at least go and, is that true? Or
no, I have a
sister.
sister.
Able to go and kind of do what you.
Yeah, I have a sibling.
I was thinking that you have parents that are still together that kind of take care of each other. I'm assuming, but
yeah, my parents are.
But you're able to go and take care of you.
Yep, my parents are healthy, and I guess I could say I'm fortunate for that situation. I don't have to go worry about that kind of stuff. But people like yourself that are, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, if I was in that situation, I'd have to make amends and do what I got to do, right? But I would keep my frequency as high as I possibly could at all costs at the same time as doing what I got to do. I wouldn't just kind of crumble to my situation and say, oh, well, you know what? I can't help it. I have no choice. You got, it's a contradiction, but you always have choices in the matter. Just which way you want to go.
I think a lot of people are facing this right now where I know a lot of people wanting to move to Mexico, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people want to move out of state or move out of the United States. And then they have family members. So I think my question is relevant to a lot of people. It might sound boring to others, but I know a lot of people are thinking about this. Their obligations.
Totally. So that's a game changer, the obligations, right? So I don't take anything away from that. But you got to, like I said, if your obligations are there and you cannot move from there, how would you raise your frequency there? That's what I would be focused on. How could you raise your frequency?
I don't want to take too much of your time, but right now in this situation, I have 3 older brothers and they're actually abusive. So it's really hard. It's very hard. It's like weird right now. It's just almost like God's trying to tell me to do something different, but it's almost like I'm in an abusive situation. Maybe because it's put the pressures on me, but that's kind of why I want to get out of here, but I don't think I could. I don't think I can.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, why don't you send me an email and maybe we can talk a little bit more about this some other time, and maybe get a little bit more in depth and maybe I can help you out. Okay.
Yeah, there's not too many people I share information with. I told you that when I first called because you were my first WhatsApp call. I don't know if you remember that after my little baby Fluffy died.
Nice. Okay.
So anyway, can you pull a card for me since I got
did you want an animal card again?
I got the Armadillo.
Yeah, you want the medicine card again?
No, actually.
You want to do tarot?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, let's do something really spiritual because that's what I'm trying to find, kind of like a guided type thing, and I'm thinking maybe whichever card you feel like is the most, like maybe guides or.
Well, let's do. The tarot has the most versatility, so let's do versatility. So I already shuffled the deck. Would you like me to pull a card from a special spot or middle deck?
Well, I'm 69, so why don't you pull it from the middle?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's get to the middle as I can get here. Calling me. So you got
Thank you, Logan.
Oh, of course. You got the 3 of Pentacles, and this is kind of funny. Now, let's be lighthearted with this. This is Donald Trump's birth card. Okay.
Oh God, my twin.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So this is the Apprentice card, and so when this, if we're talking about like the most important thing for you to focus on in your life right now, it's being an apprentice, right? It's typically when this card shows up, it's like you decided to start something new, and it's just like the show. That's why Donald Trump has the show Apprentice, because this is his birth card. There's no accidents. The keyword for this card is apprentice. What is the show he had? The Apprentice. And the Apprentice was all about, starting something that would be turned into something bigger, right? So what would that link to you in your life right now? Of being an apprentice.
I had a modeling agency. It's interesting because I had a modeling agency in school, and
well, this is not talking about something in your past, but it could be linked to something in your past. But maybe you want to go search, go open up search bar and type in 3 of Pentacles, truly teach me tarot, and see if you can find something in those keywords that will kind of maybe jog your memory, or you're just looking for one little nugget that's going to say, oh, there it is. It could be just one word. It could be a statement. It could be a paragraph, but you're just looking for one thing that's going to get your attention, and that's going to be something to kind of tickle your intuition.
All right. Well, you're a golden nugget.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. But get in contact with me. I'll do my best to help you out.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
A lot.
Okay. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
You look...
All right. So we had another phone call that was from Washington, the great state of Washington. I love Washington. I have a kind of a fun thing. One of my good friends is, I don't know if anybody of you know Fabio, the great Fabio, the Gillette Fabio, the model from Italy, Fabio. He's a good friend of mine, and from my time in Los Angeles. And he got a really amazing property up in Washington State, and I've been up there. It's so beautiful up in Washington, but he's a funny character, Fabio. He's a great guy. He's a funny character. Super loving dude, man. Super loving guy. The great Fabio. All right. So, folks, if you resonated with that, if you're in a position like the last caller was, where I want to just say this, okay? I want to just say this, that, folks, if you're feeling guilty about your situation, I want you to visit that guiltiness. What I would suggest that you do is to go sit into a space of meditation. You can go on a long walk, go into nature, go by the river, the brook, the whatever. But get into some kind of meditation, and I would suggest that you talk to this idea that you've contrived, if it's guiltiness. I want you to go into meditation and go talk to guilty like it's a real person. Hey, guilty, what's going on today? And have a conversation with guilty. And ask guilty why it is in your life. Like if you're angry, go talk to angry. What's up, angry? What do you want? Why are you here? What do you want from me? What are you going to get? What are you giving me? What am I getting from you? And they're going to tell you. And have a conversation with those ideas like it's a real person. And you're going to be both people. So you're going to be guilty, or you're going to be angry, or you're going to be resentful, or you're going to be jealous. And you want to have a conversation back and forth. Seriously, this works. You want to be both, because you are both. You created that, and it created you. So you want to have a goal. You want to have a conversation with these ideas, these energies, these emotions, and talk to them like they're real people. And ask them what they want. What do you want? Why are you here? What is it you want to get out of me? And then let them respond. And you're gonna be the one responding. It's kind of seems really silly, right? Because it's like, well, but you are that, and that is you. So anything you say will be something that they're going to say that you said anyway. And talk to these ideas. Talk to these ideas. And have fun with it. The most important thing, folks, is to have fun with it. Because it's having fun with you. Anybody out there right now that is angry at somebody, if you're angry at somebody, they may be angry at you. Like if you're mad at somebody, are they mad at you? Do they even know you're mad at them? Some of you are mad at people, they don't even know you're mad at them. But then go sit with Mad. What's up, Mad? What do you want from me? What are you going to give me back? I'm giving you all this energy. What are you giving me back? It'll tell you. But you got to sit with these energies and talk to these energies like they're real people. Like they're really in the room, sitting there across from you. Like you just had to go, like I'm having a conversation with you. You got to talk to these energies in your life that you created, sometimes fabricated out of nothing. And you got to sit with them and talk to them and figure out what they want. Why are you here? What do you want from me? And then you got to tell them to leave. Sometimes you got to tell them like, hey, you know what? I appreciate you, teaching me that or telling me that, but it's time you go because I got other stuff I have to give attention to. And you got to go, right? You got to go. And then for some of you that, the caller had said that, abuse. And that's can be tricky, obviously, because, you're dealing with other people and you're not in control of their lives. But you're in control of hanging out with those people. And then you may say, well, no, I have to. Well, there's nothing you have to do. You make the choices. So maybe you have to kind of like spend less time. And if you don't have the wherewithal to approach these people and talk to them about, hey, why you got to be that way. If you can't do that, right, then you need to find an alternative to where you won't have to face that kind of stuff. And then, again, if these people weren't related to you, would you actually hang out with them? Some of you have relatives, blood relatives, that are just downright nasty. It doesn't mean just because they're blood relatives, you have to hang out with them. They're an association, but there's no difference between an association and a relative. And folks, it's just, we put our minds into these ideas. So if you have a relative, you have a sibling that just is not a nice person, you give them chances. And then finally, sometimes you gotta be like, wait a minute, would I go into business with someone like that? No. Would I make best friends with someone like that? No. So why, just because it's a sibling doesn't mean you can't disassociate yourself. I mean, you didn't choose to have that brother or sister. You just were given that code. But if you separate the blood part of it and be like, I would never hang out with somebody like that, then why are you hanging around with just because it's your brother or sister? Stop. And I know it's easier said than done, but how much practice have you had with just accepting and saying, well, it's my sister and I have to deal with it? No, you don't. Nope. If you say so, you do. So it doesn't matter, folks, if they're related to you or not. Okay? If someone's not reciprocating and giving you energy that you're giving out that's loving, if you're giving out loving energy and you're not getting it back, you should ask yourself why. And then how long are you going to go with giving out that energy to the people that aren't giving you anything in return? Let them go suck somebody else's energy. Ain't going to suck mine. I mean, the great personal development coach, Jim Rohn, he said that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'll say that again. You're the average. I want you to think about your life right now. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That may be painful for you. Maybe you need to get some new friends. That's totally cool if you have to. Maybe you need to move. Cities, states. Change is good. Environment change is good. They've done studies on this in the universities where they would literally pull somebody out of one area and put them in a brand new area and their whole life changed just by pulling them out of the... I mean, it's common sense, but they've done studies on this. Folks, I've moved around my entire life. I don't know anything differently. I've moved around my entire life. I mean, I got Sagittaries in my first house. So I'm like a traveler. I've lived everywhere. I mean, going in the military, overseas. I was in Desert Storm. Lived in England for 3.5 years. Turkey, Iraq. And then from the East Coast, I went to the West Coast. I mean, it's in my blood. And now I'm here in Mexico. I mean, I never would have thought I would have Mexico, but folks, when I settled into my code, then I'm like, man, I love moving around. I love it. I fancy it. I get off on it. Sure, I like my castle. I like my sanctuary. I don't mind settling down. I've done it. But some of you are born to travel around and you're not doing it because of suppression, because somebody in your past told you, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Or you conform to a pattern of somebody else's life and now you're living your life through their life and their code and you're not living out your best experience. And so you're kind of muffled, you're suppressed. And your frequency goes down and then everybody around you experiences a low frequency of who you are. And you're not living out your best experiences. You should be raising your frequency so everybody around you is like, oh my God, I just want to be around you. I want to be around that person. I can't wait to be around that person. Oh, have you ever met that person? That's where you want to be, folks. You're a star in your own movie. As Bob Proctor and Born Rich says, most people are not even the star in their own movie. Can you imagine that? Being in a movie, being casted in a movie, and you're supposed to be the star and you're not. You're just like a walk-on. You're an extra in the background and nobody even sees you. That's how a lot of people live out their lives. Folks, it's time to stop all that nonsense. How can you get to being a star in your own movie? What would that look like to you? That's where you want to be. You want to be a star in your own movie. That's where you want to be. Whatever it takes. That's what entrepreneurs do. You know what they'll tell you? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get there, I'm going to do it. Now, obviously, you're not going to kill somebody to get to where you want to be. But I'm saying whatever it takes, go the extra mile. I'm going to be up an extra couple hours early. Early bird gets the worm. Whatever it takes to get to that layer, I'm going to do it. Some of you have that mindset. So whatever it takes to get your frequency to raise to the highest level possible, what does that look like to you? Feeling guilty is a shitty way to live. No way. I'm going to go through some of your comments. Some people like to be around toxic people. You see, folks, if you analyze it, that's why, oh my God, that's why decoding yourself is so important. I mean, it's the Holy Grail. Because you get to scrape away all this bullshit that you've tacked onto your life, and we all do it. So let's just be authentic with ourselves. We all tack on a bunch of bullshit throughout our entire lives, through the timeline of life. We tack on through experiences. And we get all this negative stuff through resentment and anger and guiltiness and all that. We tack it all on through our timelines, and up till right now, we are this person. Yet if you cut all that stuff off, chop away, and go right back to your rawness, your basicness of who you really, 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 really are. The core being of who you are. No one can take that away from you. You go back to that, your blueprint of why you truly became here, and you have no more layers that you have tacked on through time. You get rid of all those. Your frequency goes up. You feel lighter. And then your vibration, and all, so then when you get up to a higher frequency, then people on that high frequency, they'll start to come around because they resonate with your frequency. And we're like, oh my God, what is it, And then you start living out a better experience. It's pretty awesome. And I say these things to you, not because I read them in a book. Everything that I have said on all my lives and stuff like that, folks, I speak from experience. I speak from experience, not from a book. I am a street smarts kind of guy. I mean, my code dictates that I have to experience things to then tell you what that experience is. You know, not reading in a book. Oh, you know, I read somewhere that if you do this or that. No, I've actually done it. Okay. Listen, folks, I'm here to help all of you as much as I can. A big thing for me in this world is, and I've always been this way. I've been an influencer in the fact of helping people, and it's always been where I just want to make people happy. You know, like that's my claim. That's my claim. It's just like, if I can make the world a better place, then everybody around me will be happier, and then I'll be happier. So it is a selfish thing in a way, right? Because if you raise your frequency, my frequency goes up. But you got to raise your like it's a you know, a 1-to-1 ratio. But folks, I'm here to tell you, take your power back, man. A lot of you give your power away. You've given your power away, and it's time to stop that stuff. Not throw out your heart and the way you live out your life and how you are a good person. Not that stuff. I'm talking about the things that you've bolted onto your life, you know, because again, it's the basics of it's what happened, what happened in your life, and then the emotions you bolted onto what happened. And everything you created on top of what really happened. Like, there are people that have been adopted. That really happened. And then what came with being adopted is what you feel through all that rigmarole that you have to go through. Right? And then so these stories that you create in your mind on top of what happened of being adopted, that go with it. And you bolt them onto what happened, and then they become a package, and they are not separable. And that's where victim mentalities come into play, because people end up getting emotions, the stories they bolt onto what happened, then they live through life and they can't remove the stories with what really happened. What really happened is you got adopted. But the stories on top of this, like I wasn't good enough with this, and I'm not good enough for this, and these are all stories that are not even true that you bolted on to what really happened. What really happened was you got adopted. But what was not true is the stories you bolted onto as to why you got adopted. You got adopted because that was your code. That's it, plain and simple. So just call it a shot. That's it. You were adopted because it was part of your code. End of story. It doesn't need some big story bolted onto it of why you got adopted. You just got adopted. That's it. Just go to that. That's all you need to know. I got adopted. Boom. Plain and simple. And just remove all the stories of why you got adopted and all the childhood traumas. You just got adopted. That's it. All right, we got a 402 calling in. Let's check this out. 402, go ahead.
Hi, Logan. It's Trish.
Hey, Trish. How are you?
I just woke up. I was listening to you and fell asleep and just woke back up. But I think I woke up at a perfect time to ask my questions, because you're talking about all those things that we've bolted on to our lives.
Yeah.
And so, so this past couple weeks, I started doing sales of life insurance.
Nice.
And what I have noticed, so what my question is to you to try to help to get me through some of these things, is that fear that I have bolted onto my life, that I'm not enough to make this money, that I am supposed to, these fears in my mind, like that my family's never had money, and I'm supposed to stay under the normal of those 4 walls of an office and not go for it. You know, these people don't want to see me when I walk through this door. I've tricked my mind, and I was doing good, listening to Bob Proctor and listening to all these other things and manifesting and praying. And it seems like at about 2:00 every day, my mind tries to take me backwards, and it's a fight. And this past week, I literally noticed there's a child inside of me, and it's hanging onto my rib cages, right? And it's screaming, "You can't do this." But yet it's screaming, "Do it. You can do it. You're right there. Just keep doing it." And it's just that mind and body. And it's almost like my heart is saying, "Go, you can go, get out, let your mind get out of the way. You're this close." So it's like this ancestral feeling of, because my family's always grown up. I've always grown up on welfare. My dad was an addict and a drug addict and an alcoholic and all these things that I'm trying to step away from and step out of.
Gotcha.
How do you think is the best way to do that? I mean, I do meditation every morning, and I'm trying the vision board, and and I know it's just an everyday process to start up and keep going again, but yeah. I mean, repetition's going to play out a big dividend for you and anybody else resonating with this message that Trish is talking about. But Trish, you sounds like you're almost there. You're on that threshold, right? And I can feel it.
And you can feel it, which that's the excitement you want to attach yourself to. Like, oh my God, I'm almost being able to play this G chord on the guitar, or I'm almost just about ready to finally bungee jump for the first time. I couldn't jump off, but I'm almost ready to go. And you get that exhilarating feeling. But the thing is that, there are some tie-ins for you to your childhood that you probably are not letting go, that I would suggest that you revisit. I mean, remember what happened is your dad was this and your dad was that, right? But if you just look at it as that's what happened, and then you look at the stories that you bolted on of all the emotions that went with that, that's all the artificial stuff that we bolt on that really are not part of what happened. And that's what dictates our life, is the emotions that we're still attached to. And so these emotions, you want to talk to them like they're real people. Yeah. So whatever's sticking out in the forefront of your life right now, whatever is predominant in your life right now, you want to have a conversation with it like it's a real person. And you may want to do that, like I talk to myself all the time. I do at the grocery store. I don't even care, right? But I mean, if you want to be more...
No, I don't either.
Yeah, but I mean, this is more of a real personal thing. You may want to go out in nature and be really free, have a lot of space, and be like, okay, or we're going to have a conversation. And you want to, just like I'm talking about, let's talk about this. What is it? What do you want? Because you're not even real. I made you real, but what is it you want? What do you want from me? And you got to find these answers out, Trish. And it may be something so freaking stupid and simple, and you'd be like, that's it? But I'm saying is a lot of it may stem from, you going back to your childhood and what's sitting there still in your childhood. Is there anything still sitting there attached to the stories of what really happened? What really happened was your dad was this and your dad was that. Is there anything else that happened? But what are the stories?
Oh, and I'm sure there is.
Yeah, of course, maybe.
Sure there is.
Maybe. But you got to get rid of the stories. You got to unplug from the stories. And those aren't real. Those are what you created through what happened. What happened is real. Your dad was this, that was what happened. But the stories, that's not what happened. And that's what you're linking yourself to. And that's what's causing you, like, it may be because your dad was this and it was that. It may be that the threshold for you that you don't want to go through is still tying to the emotions of, oh, my dad was this and my dad was that. And, and I can't break through. But remove the story. Just focus on what happened. He was this and he was that big. He could have been a general in the army, I mean, it could have been anything else. You know what I mean? So just go back to what happened, and then maybe you want to look at beyond your dad. Like, how about your grandfather? Did you ever meet him?
And I believe it's, I believe it's really beyond all of that, like you're saying, Logan.
Absolutely.
I do. And and how I have a team. We have a team of people, and then we have smaller teams, and my mindset that went backwards, it went into fear. It went into fear of money. So, what I'm doing is 100% commission. And so you really have to get out of your way. Yeah,
but I've made the most money doing positions like that. So
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? They're the most money making projects you can do. So if you believe that, you have to adopt that belief. Number one, you have to believe that that's going to bring you the most income. Number one. Number two, you need to start following people that are making what you want to make and mirror those people, right? And I would also probably suggest that you inquire, if you can, into your family members that go beyond your father who were successful in your lineage of your family. Can you find out any stories based upon those people?
And see, that's what I need to do. And that's really what I need to do, Logan, because honestly, anybody that I know in my family has never went beyond a job that paid probably, $40,000.
See, so that's what you're stuck to.
And that's what I'm holding on to. Yep. Yes, that's exactly what I'm holding on to.
Yeah, bravo for recognizing that. But now you need to eliminate that story. See, that story's still in what happened. That story's still bolted onto your life. It's not even real. That's the funny thing. It's not even real. But you're holding on to it. It is.
Crazy.
We all do it though. Every one of us here watching this transmission have been a part of doing that. Everybody.
And I've always, I've had a career. I've worked at the VA, at national parks, and I would say a career. I've made $45,000 a year. Not a whole bunch, but enough to get by. I'm just a single woman.
Yep.
This is a whole nother level. Like, I've never felt in my body this like feeling of just being a beast that wants to come out. I have to get there.
What's your life path, Trish? Do you know your life path?
An 8.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you're listen.
And my address right now is 206, so it's an 8.
Look, man, you're here to experience money and power, Trish. You got to own that space, my dear.
And I've been 10 of diamonds.
Oh my God, Trish, listen, we have to have a little talk here.
Yeah, you
need to go. Okay, so here's my prescription for you. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
You got to go read that 10 of diamonds on It's All in the Card, my friend Sharon's website. That 10 of diamonds.
And I have, but I need to read it again.
Listen, I want you to memorize it. Now that's a lot of words to memorize. That's a tall stake here. That's a tall request. But how is it, what is it going to take for you? If you are willing to, if you can memorize that 10 diamonds verbatim of what it says on that website, I can promise you, your life will take off. Remember the people that are in good company with you. I'll just remind you: Tom Brady, Super Bowl record holder; Prince, Michael Jackson, 10 diamonds. Why not you? You were born with that code. You just have a different code, right? Than they do, but you still have the same card, and you still have the same ability. So it's just a matter of you releasing the garbage that is not part of 10 diamonds and 8 life paths. 8 life paths are here to experience money and power. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a multimillionaire, but I would also suggest that you shoot for something that you really find that you resonate with. Like, hey, I just want to make, like, a lot of people just want to make $100,000 a year. That's it. They want to earn $100,000, and they would be totally happy with that, right?
So what mine is, Logan, is, I think I told my story a little bit a few weeks ago when I called in. I can't even say it now. I almost committed suicide a few years back, due to all the trauma in my family, and it goes deep. It goes really deep, and I don't want to share it right now on the show, but then coming into Reiki energy healing and what that was, and my bloodline it stems from Japan.
Love
and
Japan.
and learning that from kind of what you've been teaching as well. And I didn't know my family that's stemmed from Japan, but my dad's great grandfather was 100% Japanese. Didn't know him, but it's just those things. So for me, for what this money is for me, is to help build a society like you guys are building right now.
Beautiful.
That's what it's for.
Beautiful.
That's what it's for. Not for anything else. Because honestly, and I hate to say this because I know this is part of the problem too of me not being successful at this moment only, is I don't give a shit about money.
Well,
but I have to give a shit about money in order to get here, to do that, to be able to do these things.
Yeah, I'll say this. Maybe the reason why you've adopted that story as why you don't give a shit about money is because of your childhood.
Yes.
And you got to get rid of that story. Because your code says that listen, my dear, your code says otherwise. Your code said otherwise. It does. And then you got to go with what if money was no object? So you got to start there. I mean, anybody that resonates with Trisha's message here, if you're like, oh, money doesn't matter or anything to me, are you just saying that because it's attached to your childhood? And then you got to know your code and your card. And then I would start with what Alan Watts says. What if money was no object? Start there. What if you had no bills, no impediments, no restrictions? What would you want to do with your life? That's numero uno. Start there.
And I guess I should say that I just lied to you because I think that money doesn't matter, but it does.
Of course it does.
Of
course it matters. You're saying that, right? You said it because it's attached to your childhood still. That's what you were raised with. That's what you're living through. That's your victim mentality, with all due respect. That's you playing the victim on, hey, I don't need money because I never had it and money's not important to me. So you're living off of what you were raised in, and that's not your code, my dear. It's not. I'm not saying you have to go earn $1 million a year, but you certainly need to experience your code.
And I've prayed for it.
You don't need to pray for it. You don't need to pray for it.
Though, to be with a group
just be grateful.
That will help me get here.
Just be grateful for the things you have. Start living a life of gratitude. Grateful for your teeth when you're chewing your food and brushing your teeth. Grateful for your shower head when you're showering. Grateful for your pillow when you wake up in the morning. Grateful for the shoes you put on your feet every day. Talking to your shoes. That's stupidity. Talk to your shoes. When's the last time you were grateful and talked to your shoes like they were real people and like, hey, shoes, hey, Nikes, thank you so much for giving me all these miles I get to walk every day and you give me all this cushion on my feet. People don't do that kind of stuff.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but that's
just a couple weeks ago because I didn't have dress shoes, so I went to the Goodwill to get some so that I can walk through the door to try to present myself as that person they want to look at that's walking through the door. So yeah, just a couple weeks ago, and I'm very grateful for every little thing that I have because it didn't come to me.
Perfect, man. But I still think you're attached to something from your childhood, and it's causing a block. And you're attached to that story, and you got to get rid of that story. That story doesn't work anymore for you, and you're at that threat. That's the threshold you're at. We all have multiple personalities. And one of your personalities, which is still the child in you, is fighting tooth and nail to not let go of it because it wants to survive. So I want each and every one of you that's listening to this transmission and listening to Trisha's story, we all have multiple personalities and we all created these fictitious people in our lives. And since we've given them energy, like we give politics energy, we keep them alive. These personalities, we give them energy and we keep them alive through our ideas, right? So what you've done is you've kept this child alive and it doesn't want to die. Because nothing wants to die.
And I can feel it inside of me.
Of course you can. And it just wants to survive. But you got to kill it. You got to get rid of it. Yeah, I know it's funny,
I'm sorry
right?
to laugh, but
yeah, because it's funny though. It's funny, right? But you got to get rid of it because it doesn't. It's like kind of like if you had cancer right now, would you just sit there and let the cancer take over your body, or would you fight for it? See, you have you have a cancer in your life. It's a little child that was raised in a certain environment and it doesn't know any better. It just knows poverty and it doesn't want to die. You got to get rid of that kid. You got to get rid of that child that just likes poverty. And that's what's coming through saying, well, money's not important to me. No, that's the little child that wants to survive. And that's what's holding on for dear life as you move into that threshold. And you got to get rid of that identity and move into your real identity of your 10 diamonds is fortunate blessings, my dear. And your innate life path. Oh, my Lord.
I know.
Start watching Bob Proctor, Born Rich, every day for 30 minutes for the next month, and then come talk to me in 30 days. But you got to dedicate yourself to that. You can't be like, oh, it's Sunday, I'm going to take a day off. How bad do you want it? Got to get rid of that little child that's hanging on for dear life. Yeah, you got to get rid of the little child. Yep, get rid of that identity.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, you're there. You're the fact that you're on that threshold is exciting because you're ready to release that child, but it's still there and it doesn't want to die because nothing wants to die.
And you know how kind of crazy it is. I was like, okay, I just need to go and apply for a different job because I need to stay in this normalcy to get a normal paycheck, blah blah. And I put in one application. I got the lady called me for an interview. I pulled off on the side of the road to take this interview, and her computer and her phone crashed. That's not a coincidence.
Yep.
Like either. That's the universe saying, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Just listen.
And so it's those things like
you gotta. Number one is what if money was no object? What do you really want to do? And then obviously this insurance thing. Maybe it's a stepping stone to get you to really where you want to be. It's setting yourself up. You know, it's like I want to build the house. You don't just start putting the walls up. You got to put the foundation up first. And maybe that's the foundation right now for you. But really, what does it look like a year from now for you? And then you got to work on that identity, that little child that's still living in poverty, that doesn't want you to move on to success. Because if you move on to success, it doesn't have a job. It doesn't have a job anymore, and it doesn't have an existence.
So do you think that's kind of like when like a spiritual attachment?
Well, I mean, you could think of it that you could think of it that way, but it's just an identity that you created in your mind. It's called multiple personalities, and we all have them. So you could say it's an attachment, but I think that's rather silly. It's a story. Right. It's a story. Talk to your story. Right. Go talk to your little child and say, you know what? I know you want to survive. I know it worked for a long time, but our relationships, I got to end our relationship. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it's got to be because I want to move on, and you don't. So you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to leave, and you got to be courageous enough to do that.
I am courageous enough.
So go do it. Go have the conversation with the little child that wants to hold you back.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's silly, but I
need that. Like I need that simple silliness. It's simple.
It's simple.
And it's silly, and just do it.
Yep. And go have fun with it. That's the most important thing. Go have fun with it.
That's what my
because
boss says.
Because remember this, Trish. You're dealing with a child. That you're dealing with a story that's linked to your childhood. It's a child. It's not an adult.
No, so, it's not.
It's not.
It's not even it's not even like adult thoughts that come when they come.
Nope. So you got to treat it like a child. So go have fun with it. Be like, listen, you got to go because there's no more room in there and for this. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
And then just let me know in 30 days and go watch Born Rich. That'll get you straight.
Yeah, I'm going to. I am going to. I have been, but not every day for 30 minutes.
You eat every day, right? So you got to do how bad do you want it? You eat every day. You go to the bathroom every day. You brush your teeth every day. Shower, get dressed. Come on. Let's get going with this because you deserve it. Your card says so.
Okay, when I call you in 30 days. I'm going to have a lot more money.
I love it.
But not only that, not only a lot more money, but a lot more clients and a lot more success.
I'm just looking for success, man. It's not a matter of, success has so many different variations to it. But what I really want to hear from you, Trish, next time is you got rid of the little kid that's still poverty stricken.
Exactly.
That's what I want to hear.
And so another thing that's kind of neat as well, and I don't know astrology all that much. I was learning it, and then I kind of stepped aside to get my license in this and other things. But I do know that my first house is a Leo, and I know we're about to have a full moon in Leo, and the sun just went in Leo, and then everything happening. I know what this is. Like, I know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just like taking a step back and going, okay, now come on.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. I mean, the sun and the moon and stuff. And Leo is the sun, let the sun shine, you know? So go kick it in the ass. You got all the energy behind you, so.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, everybody that listens as well.
You're welcome.
And I missed you last week, but thank you so much.
I wasn't on last week. So you didn't miss me. Yeah, you didn't miss me last week. I took a week off, yeah. So
No, not that's what I'm saying. I missed you.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't miss
thank you so much.
Thing, but I missed you.
I appreciate that. All right, well, go kick some ass, man. You know, it's time to pull your Mars card out and go kick some ass. Okay?
The right way.
The right way, of course. Of course you're going to do it the right way. You ain't going to do it the wrong way. Otherwise, don't do it.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Trish.
All right. Thanks, Bogan.
Of course. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Much love. All right, folks. So a long conversation, but, you know, a lot of information. And, folks, we all have these damn stories that are tied to our childhood. And they're just kids. They don't know anything, these ideas, because they're built upon our childhood. And they don't go any further past that. And then they end up dictating your life, my life. So we have to get rid of them. You know, and you can't make room for something when you're already full. So you got to chop off and make room for the new. You know, Bob Proctor again, you know what he'll tell you in Born Rich? If you want a new wardrobe, go clean out your closet. And he has fun with it. He's like, some of you ladies, you got the blouse in your closet, still got the tags on it, and you just haven't worn it in a couple of years, but you won't get rid of it. Somebody could be using that blouse that you haven't worn in 2 years. Nope, it's got to sit in your closet with the tags on it. I mean, what sense does that make? So if you want a new wardrobe, go get rid of your clothes. Go clean your closet out. Go give them away. You'll get it all back. That's called reciprocation of energy. All right. This has been a fun night. This has probably been one of the most fun transmissions that I've done, and it's been interrupted a few times. All right, we have another call coming in. This is good. Another call coming in, and it's a 47 calling code. Oh, this one's going to be lovely. 482. Go ahead.
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Beautiful. Wow.
Who are you speaking to? You don't have to say your name. You can say an alias.
Yeah, no. Yeah, my name is Martin.
Martin.
And I'm calling from Norway.
Oh, wow. That's your calling code is 47?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm very fond of the 47. Where in Norway? Is it cold there? What is it? Is it light, dark? What's going on up there?
No, now it's very light, long days because of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of
the sun, yeah.
Because of the sun, yeah.
Okay. So what can we do for you, Martin? Thanks for calling in. What can I help you with? What do you want to talk about? You want a card pull? What do you want to do?
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, I would like to offer my sincere appreciation for who you are.
Thank you.
For what you give. And for the subtleties of your mind.
Thank you.
It is such an elegant art that you are weaving. through the videos that you are creating, and expressing yourself.
Well,
it's very inspiring.
I appreciate that, Martin, very much. Appreciate your support and your loving and kind words. It's definitely greatly appreciated to hear. Thank you. As you know, I'm just living through my code, so I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but nonetheless, it's nice to be recognized and appreciated for sure. So I am taking that very well received.
Thank you for receiving that. And I would also like to, just maybe on a more practical note, I've been following you with videos for, I started watching this year, and it's been a very intense year for all of us, I suppose.
Sure.
There's been such a improvement gradually in every video. It's getting more and more precise,
Sure.
And I noticed, I think I started to watch, the first video I saw was The Great Architect of the Universe.
Okay.
From you.
Good start.
And yeah. And then yeah.
How do you say architect in Norwegian?
It is the same root, so it's architect.
Oh, wow.
Probably a Greek root, huh?
Yeah,
or Latin or
yeah. That's awesome.
But I would just like to offer you an observation.
Sure.
That I is that in your videos, oftentimes, or at least in the previous video that I saw or have been looking at, you pull up these slides to show, for instance, you talk about, you're talking about the card in the Cards of Illumination deck, and then you pull up the card index, or how you say it, to show that what you are saying is right. And I think it's good, but I would just like to say to you that the people who watch your videos, and at least the people who resonate with it, we really appreciate you, Logan. It's you are a brother to us.
Oh, thank you, man.
And I would just like to say, for me, okay? When you don't have to explain yourself so much.
Okay.
Just do you know what I mean?
I think so.
It's because if you can just be even more, in your shoes as Logan, this is what I do. This is who I am, If you are new to my videos, there are many older videos that, I have really offered so much of myself. You can watch Decode yourself. Everything is there, really pace by pace. And maybe, I don't know, but maybe this would allow for you to, put some, how to say it, you can travel lighter, Every video you can be more on point.
Gotcha.
And
are you talking, Martin? Are you
yes, please.
Are you referring to when I say I want to be really transparent and I go back and show the cards that are in the lineages and what numbers they are and stuff like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, for instance.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, well received.
And okay, thank you. Thank you for
of course.
For that. And yeah, there's I would just also like to say, I don't want to take too much time, but I would also like to say that, you know, I am moving across a wide range of information and, you know, connecting pieces of the puzzle like I know you are also doing. And I can say honestly that your videos have a tremendous potency. And when I watch, oftentimes I observe things happening in the mind. Resistance coming up. Even though I'm really enjoying what is happening, it feels like, you know, an upgrade to the nervous system, to the synaptic pathways. It's like almost something is happening with this information that is being shared, and it's very empowering.
Well, I'm very I'm kind of speechless, man. I'm honored. I'm really grateful that you've come on here and shared your observations and your perspectives. And I'm glad that somebody like yourself has come on to really say what they really feel, and that I'm being able to reach people on these kinds of levels. So thank you for coming on and sharing that with all of us. I appreciate that.
That is my pleasure, Logan.
Okay.
And I did write a little question in the comment section.
Okay. What was your question?
My question was in regards to, well, it's more like a thought experiment though. With this programming, this script that this reality seems to be running on, let's just say it like that. And the more I open my eyes to see, the more I see that things are really strange. Let's just say it like that. But then you have this whole spiritual notion of, you know, man awakening from his slumber, being conscious, burning up his karma, you know, having the free will, the sovereign being. And then you have spiritual characters on the scene, let's just say like Sadhguru, who is, you know, talking about the free man, freeing yourself from the programming, freeing yourself from the karmic load, or whatever, how you want to say it. And the way I phrased it in the comments was something like this, that let us say we are these characters, these avatars in this game, let's just say it like that, this game of life. And we are being played. And that which is playing us has full view of everything in our life, in our sphere. Kind of like if you're playing a video game, you can see the inventory of the character, you can see the health bar, you can see everything.
Yep.
Even though the character may not be aware. And then you can imagine if the character, you know, starts to something happens and he starts to see, he starts to feel, you know, is this real? What is the truth? Where am I? What am I? Who am I? And then this goes on and on and on. And it's like almost this thing, this character, which was a program, wants to awaken. And consciousness sees this, you know, because consciousness is the player of the character. And then it sees the character wants to awaken. And it starts to help it a little bit, gently. And we are programmed. But let's just say when the character starts to marry its awareness with that of consciousness, you gain the, not the ability, but you may start to nullify your own programming and become conscious instead. So that which was a space filled with zeros and ones becomes a space filled with zero. Just consciousness.
Right.
And this paradox, in a way that yes, it is true, it is scripted, but there is also the anomaly. If the character wants more than anything to awaken to the truth, you can, start to incinerate your programming and become conscious. A conscious player. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's very possible that that's something that could be true to form on this reality and the stage of it, because there are a lot of people that I've seen in the decoding world that believe that you can break free from the chains or the bondage of the program itself. And then you would start to look into the whole self-fulfilling prophecy idea. And that would be where someone comes up with an idea and tells somebody about it, just like what you're doing right now. You're telling all of us this idea, and then everybody's listening to it. That's listening to it right now, and there are going to be some people like, "That's a pretty amazing idea. Yeah, I think I like that idea," and they may expand on that idea, and that breathes life into it. Right? That breathes life into that idea. And then that idea becomes its own consciousness, so to speak. And if enough people end up buying into that idea, that consciousness could branch off into its own existence and break free from what it once was, which just was the zeros and ones that you're talking about.
That resonates with me. And it makes sense if one goes back to the example of Sadhguru, because there is so much power in the philosophy, if one can say it like that he is advocating, and he has so many people and their attention and their life energies directed towards him, in a way like a nexus point for consciousness, like an organic nexus point for consciousness. And well, maybe let's just wrap it up there, because I don't want to take more time. But I would like to say to you, Logan, and to all of those who are listening and are following Logan's work, and to really thank you all. And Logan, you are this nexus point in a way. You are a nexus point, because right now we are here with you. And when we watch your videos, I sit in my apartment and I feel so much gratitude and love for my brother Logan and the work that he's doing. And maybe you could see it kind of like a pioneer paving the way for a new vision, a new vision of what it is to be.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Well, Martin, I thank you so very much, man. You really inspired. I wanted to give you the floor, man, because, I can tell you're coming from a true place of your heart, and I appreciate all the kind words. I was well receiving those, but a lot of thought-provoking stuff that you brought to tonight's conversation, or this morning's conversation, wherever you're at in the world. But make no mistake about it, I'm really appreciative of what you've said, and I hope to hear from you again. All the best to Norway, and we'll see you on the other side, brother.
Bless you, Logan.
All right, man. Much love.
Farewell.
Farewell. So there you go, man. The great Martin from the amazing country of Norway. See, folks, that's what I love about this damn technology, is it plugs people in just like that. I mean, go back to 1973 when I was born. That would never happen. I would never talk to somebody in Norway. Think about it. So when we scrape away all the crap that mankind has put on artificial intelligence. What we're left with, the love part of it is, how about that? Is that worthy of keeping? That kind of incidence right there? I'd say an emphatic yes. How can we institute that into combining with, the material world and mankind and making it all collaborate together? It's just awesome, man. It's just awesome. Yeah, it's just awesome. It was really, really good phone call. So, all right. Oh, not this. So we have 113 in the comment box. All right, keep it nice, 113. I don't know what your comment. You talk about full hearts and love, but cannot understand hugging the most pure image. Okay. So I want to be really crystal clear. Okay, we use titles: love, fear, evil, but they're titles. When you scrape all that bullshit away, everything just is. There are no titles. Because everything is one, branched off into the titles. And that's it. It's not a matter of understanding, hugging anything, 113. As I said earlier in this transmission, and I had this brought up to my attention from a listener that had emailed me. I can't remember her name, and my apologies, but she had said, you said that everything in this reality wants to be acknowledged for its existence. And how true is that, folks? Everything alive today just wants awareness. It wants acknowledgement to keep it alive. And sometimes the things that we call evil just need a little bit of love to bring them back to the homeostasis of balance, to bring them back to that neutral point. I mean, when you're black, this color is just pure freaking power. And when you move back to the white, you stand in the middle of gray, and it's neutrality and it's balance. Okay, I misinterpret your message. Okay, sorry. So I misinterpreted a message of 113s. All right. I think I got to end this transmission because it's getting to that point, folks. You know how I roll with going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Woo! All right. And I'm probably keeping some people up. So it's all good, though. Some of you keep me up. So it goes both ways. All right. I'm hesitant to do my little slideshow. Oh, desk boy? Who's desk boy? Should I put that person on timeout? I haven't been moderating too well. Desk boy 72, I got a much love. I don't see. Okay. My friend's website, Sharon's website, for all of you that are looking for your cards, is it'sallinthecards.com. I'm going to put it in the... Here it is. See if I can type that. There it is. It's all in the cards. Yeah, let's do I know some of you probably want to get going too. Okay. Folks, I also want to say something that's really important. Just because somebody has a picture with somebody doesn't mean they're associated with that person. Okay? I just want to say that. Now, there are exceptions. But just because somebody has a photograph with somebody doesn't mean they know what that person's all about. I just want to make that crystal clear. Okay? Don't let your mind just automatically link to something that you're assuming to be your truth without having all the facts. Now, that doesn't mean that whatever you observed is not true. Okay? But don't go off a photograph and automatically assume that what you see is going to be the truth. Please. And I know what some of you are going to refer to, and I'll be very transparent right now. Because I know that, and I was the one who edited the video, the podcast that Santos did just the last 7 or something, and he was saying that Sadhguru, whatever his name is, was hugging, what's his name from the, starts with a K, Klaus. I was the one who put that in the video because Santos asked me to. I don't know either guy. I know what Klaus is all about. I know what his agenda is, for sure. But that doesn't mean because you have a picture with somebody, doesn't mean that automatically they are associated and linked up together and they're this and they're that. That's not what it means. Okay? And I would also encourage, I'm going to encourage, and I would even tell Santos this, stop saying globetards. Stop calling people names. Just, if someone doesn't believe in what you believe in, and you're calling them names, you're actually, you're going to get it right back. That's how magic works. What you give out, you're going to get back. And I know it may be just like insignificant and meaningless maybe to you when you call somebody a globetard, but you know, I don't roll that way. What's the point? Someone doesn't agree with what you have to say. I don't understand the point behind that. You don't have to hang out with people like that. But what they believe in, that's their business. You see, folks, here's the bottom line. And then we're going to do a collective card pull. Get in the habit of being on offense. And get out of the habit of being on defense. When you are on the field in football, the only way you can win the game is if you score points. Defense does not win a game. Defense does not win a game, ever. It's offense. Field goal, touchdown, home run, goal. So just go on the offense. If you focus all your energy on your offense, you won't need a defense. Because everybody will be trying to catch up to you. And what I've learned over the years, and I've been so enriched in being on defense, and it bites me. It really, I'm not saying it's a struggles, but it's always there waiting for me to entertain it. And it's challenging not to. But just, I know what people are going to do. They're just living out their code. And that's it. But, like, if someone wants to believe in the globe, then cool, let them. You don't have to eat dinner with them. You don't take a shower with them. You don't lie down with them. You don't hang out with them. You don't have dinner with them. You don't smoke pot with them. You don't have a glass of wine with them. I was watching the debacle, debate, if you want to even call that, of Craig and Santos and Danny, and even Santos knows it was a debacle, is a big mess. And I wouldn't even have gotten into a debate with that dude because he's just an energy vampire. I mean, that's just what he does, and he's just trying to survive like we all are. So if you're not going to hang out with that kind of person, forget about giving them energy, Just go out there and score your points. If you're a flat earther, then go do flat earth. Go score your points in the flat earth. There's no reason to go try to prove anybody wrong with the globe. Just go prove yourself right with the flat earth and just go score your points of flat earth. That's it. Let them do what they got to do. If you think they're going to end up, blowing up themselves, then you have nothing to do. You have nothing. There's no reason to try to do anything. That's why debating to me is useless, because like I was going to do a podcast with a couple of people, but I'm not even on the same page with that person. And it's just useless for me. I'm really at a point where I'm trying to help people. That's my whole thing, is I am trying so bad to help people. That's what I'm doing. And helping people doesn't involve putting people down, trying to prove people wrong. And we're all guilty of that, right? But anyway, I'm not, like I said, going back to Sadhguru or whatever. I don't know the guy, right? I don't know the guy. But we can't take away from what he's delivered to the world. The guy's, I've watched some of his stuff. He's got some good points. And that's all I'm interested in, is the good stuff that he brings to the table, right? I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know who he is. And maybe he is linked to Klaus and he's involved in all this stuff. I don't know. Don't know. But you see, it doesn't matter to me, because all I have to do is let his code play out. I don't care. It's just like the Pope, the current Pope right now. Whatever you believe about that guy, it doesn't matter, because his code's going to dictate what's going to happen. Nothing that I say. Don't care. Don't care about these other players on the board. I care about, folks, when I'll just use LeBron James as a basketball player. I don't know, he just first came to my mind. When he gets on the court, all he cares about is him and his team. Now, he may pay attention to other scorers on the team and like, hey, we got to put some more defense on that guy, whatever. But you know what he's interested in? Scoring scoring buckets. That's all he cares about. He may play defense to prevent buckets, but the majority of the time he will be spent on scoring buckets. Passing, scoring buckets. Passing, scoring buckets. Dunks, passing, scoring buckets. That's the name of the game. Scoring, scoring, scoring. If your whole life is too busy focusing on what everybody else is doing, you take away from scoring. And that's why I've said so much, forget about what they're doing. Forget about what they're doing. If your neighbor wants to go take that thing, then whatever, they're going to do it anyway without your blessing. You talking about it is just giving them energy. And it's sucking your energy. Where you could be taking that energy, that conversation you're talking about your neighbor, I can't believe they're going to do that. You could be taking that conversation and putting it on Born Rich, increasing your wealth. You could be taking that energy and putting it on someone that really, a friend that needs it. But no, you know what the world's doing today? The world's too busy talking about what somebody shouldn't be doing on the world stage. What this organization shouldn't be doing on the world stage. Where if they took all that energy and focused it on their own personal life, because their life probably is in the shitter anyway, and the reason why they are deflecting is because it takes away from having to be responsible with their own life. But they would, if they just put all their attention on their life, then they would increase their livelihood. This world's really funny. All right. So I'm going to do a conscious card pull. Collective consciousness card pull. You guys all ready? Let's see how many people we got on here. Oh, we still got a decent amount of money. Thanks everybody for sticking around. That debate wasn't Santos's real, genuine personality. Absolutely not. And as I've already told Santos, he should have never, ever, 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 ever agreed to do a debate with that guy. Ever. And he knows it. And he would admit that. He knows it. But that's long gone. But you know, you learn. You learn from that, right? Never again. That's never going to happen again. Listen, they're onto the Syncretism Society. They're onto big and great things, and their mission statement, their intentions are to help people increase their livelihood, right? That's not like trying to sneak something in behind the scenes to pocket, to benefit. No, their intentions is to help people straight up, just like mine are. That's why I'm here. One of the reasons why I'm here, because they're doing things that want to help people. That's what I'm interested in. Okay. So all of you, thank you for your comments. All of you, you're welcome for the... man, so much love tonight. Yeah. Folks, look, forget about the static in the world. Wake up tomorrow or today and focus on your own life. Make yourself the best version you can possibly be. Some of you are not. There's always room to... I mean, I'm continually raising the bar with me and my code. I think that's the name of the game. How high can you... How much can you level up in this game? Okay? All right. So don't be no more critics of the world. Just no more focusing on the static of the world. You know, if people want to let people go do what they got to do, folks. You're not here to wake people up. That's not your freaking job. It's not your responsibility. Stop saying that. Like these foolish notions of like the sheep and they're asleep, folks. The code is the code. Okay, it's not your responsibility to wake anybody up. It's not your responsibility to take anybody by the hand. I don't care if they're blood or friends or not. If people are going to do what they want to do, it's not your job. It's not your responsibility. You're here because you want to be here. That's what's most important. You know, the whole waking up thing and all that stuff, folks, it's a kind of a funny topic. Okay. Anyway, I could keep going, but all right. So let's do a collective card pull. I've shuffled the cards like a million times already tonight. And a big round of applause to each and every one of you out there. A big round of applause to everybody. Yeah. That's all to you. Yeah, a lot of great content tonight, folks. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. All right, so what should we talk about? What should we ask? And I'm going to end this transmission. So let's just go with, I'm going to make it really easy. Let's just go with, the tried and true. And that is, what's the most important thing for the world to do? The world now, not you, okay? It's going to be you because the world is you. But what is the most important thing for the world to do to make the world a better place for the remaining period of this summer/winter, depending on where you're at in the world today? Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. So what's the most important thing for the world to do right now in the next upcoming months to end this season of summer? We're finishing the last month. Still got Leo. I don't want to jump ahead, but still got Leo. So maybe the month of August. But what's the most important thing for the world to do to make this world a better place? It's kind of an ongoing thing now. Most important thing for the world to do to make the world a better place. What does the world got to do? What do you think the world has to do to make this place a heck of a lot better for all of us to have a better experience, right? So I'm going to pick, I don't know, maybe a card or two cards, but let's jack the music up. And I've been playing this pretty much all night. It's one of my favorites. But let's jack the music up, folks. Yeah, August. Let's just do it for the month of August. Let's narrow that down. Let me just do another shuffle. So the month of August. We're moving into the month of August. We're in August now. August 1st, baby. Look at that. My phone is at 53%, and at the local time was 3:50. So that was an 88 asking that question. See the syncs, folks? See what we're paying attention to? Okay. So most important thing to focus on moving into the month of August for the entire world. What will that be? What's that going to be? All right, so let's blow this music up. 30 seconds. We'll come right back. Do what you got to do. Let's focus. All right, folks, so what do you think? We all know love always wins, right? Love is the true, tried and true winner each and every time. Yes, this is this is called Across the Moment by Symbiosis. Yeah, it's dope music. Okay, this is called post-rock, I think, is the actual. Yeah, it's a really amazing album. Yeah, I'm gonna put it into the before I pull the card. There's the name of the album, Symbiosis. Across the Moment. Yeah, there's the album in case anybody wants to. Okay. So here we go, folks. Most important thing for the entire world to focus on in life right now through the month of August, to make the world the best version of itself. What would that be? So here we go, folks. Middle of the deck. I mean, the funny thing, at the bottom of the deck, let me show you. I've been doing, lately when I do polls, I'll do a card from the bottom, the middle, and the top. And this is the bottom card, Queen of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Diamonds, 38th card, which, is tied to the Manchurian Candidate, which is the code puller. This is the code puller card right here. All right, so this would be the queen the queen bee, that we're all feeding. Okay, so let's go to the middle of the deck. Okay, here we go. And we got, wow, interesting, huh? Because we got the queen, and then we got the jack. This card right here is the Knight of Pentacles, a.k.a. the Jack of Diamonds, the Jack in the freaking box card 37, which is tied to the sun and moon. The Jack of Diamonds, the Knight of Pentacles. And then let's see the top card. And look at that, folks. Ooh, that says it all right there. So when you have all three and you kind of synchronize that, let's see if I can interpret this for all of you lovely ladies and gentlemen before we end this transmission. So just this card right here. This is the card of, we pulled this before. This is the card of Six of Cups. And when you look at the symbology, it's a little boy handing. And what's fascinating about this card, folks, you see, if you look at the Last Supper painting, you'll notice that the Christ in the middle of the painting is wearing red and blue, same colors as the little boy holding that cup of flowers and handing it to the little girl. So this card is all about going back to childhood and nostalgia. And it was, when I do the three cards from the bottom, the middle, and the end, this is always the future. This is the future. The Jack would be the now moment, and then the Queen would be from the past, present, and future, which is gold. But the Jack, of course, in the now moment is the Jack of Diamonds, and that's the Jack in the Beanstalk, Jack Reacher, Jack this, Jack that. So, and the Jack, we're all Jack in the Box, folks. If you're not Jack, you're Jill, and it's the same thing. But it's clearly saying what we all need to do through the month of August is be the best Jack that we can. And of course, we're being owned by the Queen Bee. It's to serve the Queen Bee, okay? To serve the Queen Bee, being Jack and Jill in the box. We're all stuck in the box. This is what we're stuck in, the cube. Okay? This is the magnet. And if you're a fan of Ken Wheeler, he'll show you the magnet, making up the two torus fields. Now we get into real physics. Not opinions, but we get into real physics. And this is the cube that we all live in. And it's the Jack. The Jack in the box. And it's what we all need to do is become the best Jack or Jill that we possibly can. And we need to end up moving towards childhood nostalgia. I mean, this is a no-brainer right here, folks. Collectively, as a whole, we're being run by the Queen. That's the Queen. Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Pentacles. By the way, this is in some of the lineages is card 77, 76, 77 or 76, one or the other. So it's the Wizard of Oz, tied to the Wizard of Oz. That's what's running the show, and obviously tied, I mean, come on, in succession, the Jack of Pentacles, which is, the Queen and the Jack, the Knight on the chessboard, and then the little kids. Going back to love. So ultimately, folks, what we're moving back towards is love. And what we'll end up doing is we'll end up choosing. The choice has already been made. Ken's really good. See, Ken's not a flat earther, folks. So are we to call him a globetard? No. Just Ken Wheeler having a different opinion. But you don't discredit the great information that he brings to the world stage. That's what the value is. It's not my job to twist Ken's arm and change him into a flat earth believer. I don't think Ken really gives a shit, to be honest with you. He's too busy doing his own thing. He's too busy contributing to the world stage and making the world a better place through his knowledge. That's what Ken Wheeler's doing. He's all about offense, Ken Wheeler is. And not trying to defend his work. It's more about offense. And I think that's what the lesson is, folks, is to live our lives through live and let live. That's the Aquarian way anyway, folks. I can tell you that right now, okay? The Aquarian age is all about live and let live. You do you, I'm going to do me, and life's going to move. That's it. That's the Aquarian age. Ken Wheeler. Logan has become a flatard. No, Tam Tam. Nope. I'm still not. I'm just going to be really crystal clear before we end this transmission. I still don't care. And getting into the whole, because again, it's. I tell you where that's. I tell you what the flat Earth is it leans towards. It's division, and you're trying to just be so right about something. And, you know, like David Weiss had said, he said, you know, it matters because, you know, it makes you realize that you're not a monkey or from Ponscom. I don't need someone to tell me I live on a flat plane to not believe that I came from Ponscom. I don't need that. I'm already way past that. I don't need that stuff. It's irrelevant. It's kind of a moot point. So anyway, folks, you know, I'm going more into the whole flat idea, the flat Earth idea, because I think what I'm interested in is why the globe, if it is part of an idea that is not the way of the flat, if we really live on a flat plane, and it really is a flat Earth, there has to be something way beyond of why this was suppressed. That's what I'm after. That's what I'm going to be going after in my research. Not trying to prove the globe wrong. That's a dead end. And that's just bragging rights. And it, to me, is not important. What is important is why you have these two ideas opposing off one another. What's going on here? That's the truth that all of you should be interested in. Is if the globe is not real, why did they make it up? It's got to be something more to the story. That's what I'm after. So, anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But it doesn't matter. Nope. Tam, I'm interested in knowing why NASA spends so much energy on deception. I gave my notion on this, and I'll tell you all of you again. This is, again, my opinion, right? I think that NASA and company, they really want to go to Mars. They really, really want to go there. But they can't get there. Now, again, this is just a possibility. They really, really want to go there, but they can't get there. Now, how would you be able to get there? Well, if you had an idea of going to Mars and you sold that idea to the general public through the mega dollars they spend on everything they try to show about it, and people buy into it. Oh, I want to go to Mars. Oh my God, Mars is that red planet, and Mars and this, and Mars and astrology. And you have all these people buying into Mars, buying into it, buying into it, buying into it, buying into it. Maybe that is how you move the fabric of reality. Through getting enough people to buy in your ideas, to then create that self-fulfilling prophecy, and then it ends up moving that fabric of reality. And folks, remember, don't take away the aspects of CERN. CERN could be where they are digging into the quantum realm, and all of our ideas are feeding that digging. And whatever ideas come out on top will become our reality. Never forget that. I'm going to say that one more time. I'm going to end this transmission. CERN, who is using their Large Hadron Collider and whatever else they're doing up there, may be digging into the quantum realm. And they need all of the ideas that are on the highest level of ideas on the world stage, the collection of those ideas. They then take those ideas and they move them through the Large Hadron Collider. And that creates the future of our reality. That creates our reality, folks. So when you have this dystopian world that many of these people like to portray, if you have enough people focused on the dystopian world, CERN will somehow be able to plug into the quantum realm and create that on this physical reality. Now, these are just ideas and theories I'm throwing out there. I'm not saying they're true. But I will say this, folks. The only two flags that and someone had pointed this out, and I can't remember who it was, so thank you for your contribution. Someone had sent me an email, and I knew about I knew about Switzerland, but I didn't know about Vatican. The Vatican has a square 1-to-1 ratio flag, and so does CERN. Switzerland, the only two flags out of all the flags in all the countries, there's only two of them that are a square box, 1-to-1 ratio. Switzerland and the Vatican. That's it. And CERN is in Geneva, and so is the United Nations. There's a big tie in there, folks. I just don't know what it is. I'm on to it. I just don't know what it is. But there's something big into this topic. I'm diving into it. I've been digging and doing decoding on Switzerland. They have the cross on their flag, and the Vatican has the keys. I don't know anything more beyond what I'm telling you. This is all theoretical, but I think it's very possible that CERN is digging into the quantum realm, and they are literally creating our reality of our future by the ideas based upon people giving their energy to these ideas, which of course Netflix plays a big role, because all of these shows that people are binge watching, they're giving their energy to, and that's what makes something real, is energy. Energy is what creates currency. Currency is what creates the battery. The battery is what creates our reality. So take it for what it's worth, folks. Take it for what it's worth. But these are just some late night things I wanted to share with all of you. So anyway, folks, it's 4:07 a.m. Great time to stop this transmission. 4:07, 5:07. Remember, whatever time it is for you, the numbers encroach. So anyway, folks, as I like to always say, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This has been Decode Your Reality. What's your question number 15? I thank each and every one of you for your Patreons, your donations. For those of you that want to get a reading, send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com, or just go to my website. It's not fully built out yet. It's called cosmicsugar.org. Just go on to the personal readings tab, click on there, and my 3 readings are listed for you to choose from. So folks, that's all I got. Until next time, we'll see you later.